Right then. Hello everyone, how you all doing today? We've got some catching up to do here, stream. Yeah, chat. Right. Have the changes been saved? This is what I want to know, because obviously we know how YouTube doesn't like to work with us. Now, is the thumbnail up, is what we want to know. It is not. Right. Thumbnail is on. What is it? Oh, yes it is. Let's go. It never wants to go on. It never wants to go on. Baffles me, this. It worked. I'm so glad. So, it's gonna be... It's a big one for us. It's a big one. I'm literally sending this to everywhere. Thank you to all of our partners. I do hope they will, well, they should be watching. The people that have, well, basically supported us with this, for helping us promote this. I will get to you lot very soon. We're gonna get some more people in here, obviously. We're not gonna plug you once and... But they are in the description. Everyone who's helped us with this event, so... Link in the description for them. Day 1 OG here, Vaslinka. Hello everyone. We're gonna get into this in a minute about what we're doing, who we're doing it for. Let's just get everything where it needs to be. Let's get that sorted first. Right. I mean, we're here. Just trying to help the last people join the lobby now. There are quite a few things we're doing here today, as everyone starts to join. Welcome. There's a few people that want the stream link, so I'm just sending it out to them. And if you can see by the thumbnail, you have a pretty solid idea about what we are doing, who we're doing it for, and all of that. So, right, I have a feeling I've not done something because it's typical of me not to do something. If you know me, you know I'm a bit like that. But I mean, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm Ninan. So, right, sorry for the awkward silence. I've been messaging the Arrow Point team trying to get them to join. Right. I think I've got everything that should be here. Please, please, please share the stream out. Let's get as many people in here as possible. Let's actually go message TS Bunty. He's also someone that's helped us. Thank you, Formula God comments. Check the description, everyone's there. Anyway. Hello everyone, welcome to the GTEL 6 hours for mental health. It's qualifying day. You can see if you've seen the thumbnail, there's 2 extra races, 2 mini races that are going to happen today. We have the Super Formula event, which is about to happen now, just before we go to Quali. And after Quali, we have the Race of Champions, which has a few... If actually is something we need to load up, let's load up the Just Giving page. Please donate, link in the description. It means a lot if you can donate. If you can't donate, please share the stream out, get as many people watching as you can. Let's get as big a reach on this as possible so we can raise as much money as possible. Even if you can't donate, just share it to your family, share it to your mum, dad, whoever, family, friends. Anyone that could help us with this and raising as much money as possible. Anyway, GTEL Super Formula race. There's a grid of 9. We're meant to have 14, but you know, typical fashion, we don't get that. Now, obviously, I'm just going to make sure we have the right settings because knowing me, I will have the wrong settings on for something. Quali will be done. There will be a 30 minutes qualifying, which I'll get into now. 10-minute qualifying, 24 laps for the Super Formula race. Then there's a 30-minute qualifying around the Nordschleife and all back to Dragon Trail Gardens for the Race of Champions, which sadly doesn't include Ruben or Devil, which is unfortunate, but we have names like Mamba Strike. We even have Juice from Season 1 coming in. We've got Tim, who's had some brilliant performances this season. There's Cam West and Alpha Pino. There is lots. The race will be done. There will be 4 races and the times will be added up. Anyway, please share the stream out. Let's get ready. We're just about ready for race 1. So if practice is anything to go by, Mighty Joe currently leading. He's in that beautiful Golf Helix livery. Crowhawk there for COC, coming just behind Cutty up towards the final 2 turns. Basically forms into 1 turn here. As deep into 1, swing it back round for late apex. Not quite like Crowhawk did there. But everyone seems to be getting ready for this. Mighty Joe, ZenQ, Crowhawk, Tim, Cutty, Cam West, Ian, Dirty and Mr. Kenko will line up for qualifying then. Watch out for Crowhawk and ZenQ, they're really quick. Dirty and Mr. Kenko, we don't know anything about them. Cam West, he's the Div 3 runner-up. Expect some pace from him. Timmy's got some podiums as well. This, I'd say, quite a wide open grid. And let's just hope we get away as nice as possible. We know we normally have some problems with the starts here. Pray for whether we don't have a pit glitch. Ian is the first out then. That's a nice red livery. It's almost like a Ferrari. There's the Arrow Point Racing team of Dirty and Mr. Kenko. Cam West, there's Mr. Kenko leaving. Cam West, he's running the Lynx Racing team. He's racing in the Race of Champions, and then tomorrow as well in the 6-hour event. Out first, Mighty Joe. Now, this track, people prefer Dragon Trail Seaside to the Gardens, as that's Cam and Mighty Joe kicking up some gravel around the entrance to the Turn 2 chicane. Turn 1 quite flat in these cars, very, very tricky. But overtaking spots. Turn 2, that's a good chicane. Turn 5, which they're coming up to now, this hairpin. There's the multi-apex. They've got this S section, but at the end of the start of the 3rd sector, there's that multi-apex turn, which Joe is coming up to now. Then the final turn, or the final 2 turns, which basically merge into 1. Now, let's give a quick reminder for drivers. So then, ZenQ, he's won some endurance test events for us which haven't been streamed, but he's got a nice Red Bull COC livery as he comes through turn 2, up towards turn 2 through the chicane, clobbering over the curbs. Tim's looking start into mediums. That's a Lightning McQueen livery on Ian, very nice on the Super Formula car. Mighty Joe giving Dirty Assassin a tow, who's had all sorts of problems, and he's actually on the hard tyre and picked himself up some engine damage, and he's into the barrier at turn 2. What's happened with him there? As Cam clobs over the curb on the exit of turn 4, sorry, where I think that was Dirty Assassin who did have an off. He looks to have rejoined the track now, but 10 minutes qualifying, it's going to be a tight one as he will have to get back into the pits, get a new engine, and maybe put on some fresh tyres. Dirty Assassin, yep. That was Tim going through in that very simplistic Can-Am livery, but we know Tim's got some pace in a GT3 car, and if he's cracked open a bit, there's a podium on the cards for him, as we know he's got a lot of pace there. Up towards the final 2 turns then for ZenQ, a scarily quick driver as well of Crowhawk. They're racing COC this weekend in the 6-hour event as well. So good exit there. Maximising track limits, not going over the curb too much. You get over the curb too much, you're gonna... that ruins your exit speed, but a 1:16.1 for the benchmark lap time. Ian, 9/10 off. That's not bad to say. That's a ZenQ time. Mighty Joe, though, goes in second ahead of 1:15 flat. Cam West will go second with a 16 flat. Cutty, he'll go fifth with a 17.8. Crowhawk up towards the line. He's currently going purple. He goes for the top with a 14.2. We said he's quick, he's showing the pace. Tim, he's currently on an out lap. And he will now start his flying laps. He comes up towards turn number 1. Mr. Kenko, he's also on an out lap. And Dirty Assassin, he'll be into the pits then. So, Tim, scrubbing the tyres a bit there through turn 2. Maxima, he could have pushed the curve a bit more through there on 4, but he doesn't. Down the back straight then up towards turn number 5. A prime overtaking spot. And these Super Formula cars, if you don't know what a Super Formula car is, it's basically Japanese F2. Some of the premier racers in the world. Not necessarily like the FIA F2 series, but a lot of ex-Japanese F1 drivers. They've got people like Kamui Kobayashi in there, if you remember him. I think Narain Karthikeyan has also raced there. Although he wasn't very successful, he's still alright. I think Takuma Sato may have raced there. Zen Q, he goes 4th with a 1:16.1, just about improves. Ian doesn't find the time to improve. Cam's going into the pits for Mighty Joe's coming around the final turn. There's going to be Crowhawk up ahead, though. Crowhawk giving Mighty Joe a bit of a toll towards the line. He won't improve. Mighty Joe won't improve. He's actually dropped 11 seconds somewhere. Cutty's into the pits as well as Cam. As Cutty actually did that lap on mediums. That might explain why he's so far off the pace. Tim, he goes 5th with a 17.5. Good 3 seconds off the pace though. But look, if I can see the pace there. Just a slight lift. Depending on your... Actually, there is no subs, but depending on your confidence, you can maybe just stick it flat through there. Maybe a slight lift, but it's very tricky through turn 1. By no means necessary an easy turn 1. Neither's this. Slight lift offs through 4th. You can see full throttle application there on exit. It's very much like turn 18 at the Circuit of the Americas, if you're familiar with that. I think it's turn 18. That multi-apex left-hand, right-hander, sorry. It's like Turkey turn 8, but going right instead of left. Not the best exit from Zen, as he will then bail into the pit lane. Cam is on an out lap. Ian will come into the pits. Then his Lightning McQueen livery, not giving him much speed. Feel like he's currently in 6th. Mighty Joe, he doesn't go into the pits. He's using his overtake button. Remember, they have that as well. I don't have DRS, but they do have overtake round final turn. And Mighty Joe improves a 14.8. Won't put him on the... keeps him on the front row. Increases the gap between himself and Cam. Makes Cam have to push a bit more. But doesn't take provisional pole off of Crowhawk. 200ths is the gap between Cam West and Zen Q. I'm sure Zen Q can find more time. 1.8 seconds is unlike him. 2 off the pace there. Especially to his teammate. Mr. Kenko goes 8th with a 19.8 as he finally sets lap. And Dirty Assassin coming through turn... I don't actually know the corner numbers on this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn 9 up towards turn 10 and 11. Doesn't go too deep in there. A bit shaky. Too far on the curb on exit. You see, that really cost him on exit speed. He had to wrestle the car off. It wasn't like naturally coming off. And that is a slow lap from him. A 23 flat. That's 9 seconds off the pace. Crowhawk maximising that overtake button, then out the final turn, blasting it all the way up towards the line, getting as much speed. He won't improve though. Mighty Joe, Cam West will go 3rd with a 15.9, gaining him some time. Tim will go 6th. Tim will move into 5th. Zen Q's coming down towards turn number 5. He's currently improving. Cutty will go into 5th and he will knock Tim down. Look at the speed you get then through turn 1. That is just... that's impressive up towards turn number 2. Maximising the curb, and just look at the speed you get through there. Mr. Kenko improves with an 18.1. Not enough though to move him up the grid, and he will stay in 8th. He's currently down on his best as well. Crowhawk, he's coming through the middle sector, and the S section of this course, very tricky. He's currently purple. He's currently up by 6/10. Just needs to nail this turn, or this multi-apex turn 9. He might get a tiny bit of a toe up ahead, all the way up towards turn 10. Need a good exit from here. Don't go too deep. Dirty Assassin, he'll be improving again. And who's that ahead? I think that's Cam West. Oh, and Crowhawk, the one thing he didn't need to do, he did. Zen Q improves into third, and that's Joe going into the pits then. He will have time to come out for one more lap. Up towards the line, though. He improves by 8/10. Crowhawk laying down. He lays down the gauntlet as Cam to the mistake out the final turn. Then does he bother going to the pits? He probably... No, he won't have enough time to go and get some fresh tyres and still have an out lap. He'll have time for 2 more laps though, but how will his tyres be holding up? Ian and Cutty, just look at the speed there for Cutty in the Helix Super Formula car. Just the speed you get through there, it's absolutely mesmerising. The sense of speed in Gran Turismo as Cutty just has to avoid Cam West. Good thing he was ghosted there. The Division 3 Vice Champion nearly causing some problems. Crowhawk all over the curbs on the exit of the S's, and he's still improving nearly a 10th up, and this is Verstappen-like pace. If you haven't watched F1 qualifying, I won't spoil it, but in F3 Verstappen had this sort of pace, this sort of dominance. Mighty Joe, though, he's currently on an out lap. Will he have enough time? I think he'll have enough time to get to the line. But Crowhawk, Mr. Kenko, he's just come up towards the line. Dirty Assassin won't improve. Zen Q, he improves into 4th, up towards the line for Crowhawk, still improving. A 13 flat, he is absolutely flying. Tim tucked into the slipstream of Mighty Joe. Mighty Joe's going to start his final flying lap, burning all of his overtake he can down this main straight. That's going to be crucial in the race. Tim as well. Dirty Evo through turn 1 might be a bit of a problem. No hint of a lift there though by the Canadian. Even with some one rubber, he's still holding on nicely in the Dirty Evo. That's such the confidence that this man has. He's also going to get a nice toe down the back straight. If we ride on board, you can see he's in the slipstream of Mighty Joe, and there you can see he is improving as well. Down towards turn 5. Bit shaky going in. It's a really tricky hairpin, and that's the provisional pole man. He's gone purple, and he'll have to get out of the way of his teammate, but he has had enough at turn 4. And that will be his quali over then. Zen Q, he's coming down towards... That's his quali done, Zen Q. He's out of time, so the Mighty Joe, 8 milliseconds, he may hold on here. Cam West isn't improving. Ian, he's got 2 turns to go. Will he improve as he goes deep through turn 10? And that will be his quali over. Cutty's coming through turn 10 now. He gets it quite nicely, misses the second apex though, onto the curb nicely. Mighty Joe improves. But again, not enough to beat Crowhawk, 14.5. That's still a quick lap. Cutty improves to put himself onto the second row of the grid. He will knock Cam down into 5th. And I think that's quali over. Cam's crawling into the pit lane. Zen just on a lap, but that's just for 2 COCs. Nothing left for them. So, Crowhawk on pole for the first race this weekend, followed by the Mighty Joe, Zen Q, Cutty, Cam West, Ian, Tim, Kenko, and Dirty Assassin. It's an absolutely brilliant lap, an absolutely dominant race there. 24 laps though. Remember, they have to use 2 different compounds. I think we are ready for a brilliant race. Crowhawk on pole, followed by Mighty Joe. Zen Q in 3rd. Cutty in his GTEL debut 4th. Cam West, the Division 3 Vice Champion 5th. Ian, good GT driver in the multi-class, he's in 6th. Tim and Kenko round out the top 8. You can see the lights on top right corner. And we are away then. It's not the best starts there by Crowhawk. Ian's had a brilliant start. Cutty's not had the best start either. Crowhawk though leads as we're going towards turn 1, but there's Zen Q going to go right through. Crowhawk having to leave the space as he goes very wide. As the Mighty Joe looking as we come down through turn number 4 to make his way up the inside, and he will just about, Crowhawk will just about hold on to it. Tim's got himself up to 6th, Mr. Kenko was at a flying start, got up to 5th. Cam is up into 4th. Dirty Assassin's up into 7th from 9th. Cutty's fallen down the order, and Ian's had a bit of a mare as he's picked himself up some damage. Zen Q then as we go down through turn 5 for the first time this race. leads, followed by Crowhawk and Mighty Joe. Cam West wants to latch himself onto the back here, but Dirty Air through this section's not the easiest to deal with through this middle sector. Mr. Kenko is going to be under some pressure, didn't have the best of qualifying earlier, and Tim right onto the back of him. Mr. Kenko is going to have to start about defending, or start thinking about defending early, but think about defending early. Crowhawk's putting Zen Q, his teammate, under all sorts of pressure, and Zen's already having to give him the space. Zen, yeah, Crowhawk's going to have the inside line going down towards turn 10. He'll have that move done, but can he get it slowed down in time? Yes, he can. Cam, he's through and fourth. Kenko holds on. Oh, excuse me, in fifth as he gets all over the curb, and Tim bump drafts him a bit there, as he did not get the best of exits then. At the end of lap 1, the poleman Crowhawk leads from ZenQ, Mighty Joe and Cam West, who's already fallen a huge chunk off the back of Mighty Joe. Mr. Kenko, Terrible Tim, 5th and 6th, Cutty's in 7th, and then Dirty Assassin and Ian down in 8th and 9th. Through turn 5 we go then. Crowhawk, Zen, Mighty Joe. Not the best of exits there by Mighty Joe, getting a bit sideways on the curb. Mr. Kenko under pressure from Tim, didn't get the best of exits from turn 5, and Tim just can't find his way through the middle sector. There's not much overtaking space of these high downforce Formula cars. Doesn't have the grip, but Tim, bro, an exit there. Is going to go side by side into the multi-apex right-hander, and Tim's comfortably through. Can Kenko follow through? Or will the Dirty Air be too much for him? And I think Tim will have that move done as we come up towards turn 10. Zen's going to be under pressure from Mighty Joe. Mighty Joe started on the front row of the grid, didn't get the best of starts though. And so far at the end, lap 2 of 24. They will be slowing. They won't have the best of pace. Cam West reportedly not having his overtake button set, which is quite unfortunate. That will explain why he's losing so much time. Oh, Mr. Kenko and Tim into the barrier. That's a hard contact there. What happened? Through turn 1. Mr. Kenko, solid exit, tucked into the slipstream of Terrible Tim. Riding up towards turn 1, goes to the inside. He's not fully ahead there. Oh, he gets onto the grass and he just turns in, cuts Tim off. Oh! Let's have a look at that again. Let's have a look from Tim's point of view. That's not the best of angles. Look, he catches the grass, cuts across, sends Tim off, and Mr. Kenko just couldn't take the turn flat. Caused him all sorts of problems, and that's left him with some rear damage there. And it's Mr. Kenko, he's picked up some front damage, and now this is going to allow Ian to close his way right back in. And Crowhawk commandingly at the front, 4.7 seconds ahead. ZenQ, his teammate, under pressure from Mighty Joe as we come down towards turn 2. The first real overtaking opportunity, can get some brilliant side-by-side moments through there. Expect some in the Race of Champions later today. You can see the overtake button going off, that green light above the cockpit lighting up as we go down towards turn 5. ZenQ doesn't really need to. He's going to burn that out quicker before he really needs to. And Mighty Joe not using much overtake either. He's being conservative, but Zen's using it a lot, and come halfway through the end of the race, he's already used a quarter of it, and we're only 3 and a bit laps in, so that might be problematic for Zen in come the end of the race. Crowhawk's had some good management of the overtake button though. Cutty running comfortably in 5th. Race of Champions does have setups on. Yes. Cam West coming... Oh, sorry, this is Cutty coming through the multi-apex turn. Cam West, he's just about in slipstream range. Thinks he goes deep, very deep into the final 2 turns. And that it has cost him 4 attempts. You can see there on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see the timing gaps between the drivers. Cam West, 4 attempts just through going a little deep into that final turn. This is very much a precision-based track. You need to nail everything. One mistake and... well, that's your race over, and there's Tim into the pit lane. He had a good plan for a good strategy. Take the mediums and go a bit longer. We see him do this normally in Division 1. Sadly, he won't get to do that, but Cam trying to find his way onto the podium. He is in Race of Champions later today, trying to find himself a podium as well, so he's very different to the GT3 cars of the race. Oh, catches the curb there. That's lucky that he didn't go bouncing off into the gravel trap. The walls are quite close here. Not as close as they are at Dragon Trail Seaside with the death chicane. That is quite problematic, but as we come through the multi-apex right-hander turn 9 up towards turn 10 and 11, Cam makes sure he gets the car slowed down in time. Nice through there. Doesn't quite hit the second apex, gets all over the curb, and he's losing so much time through that final turning. Doesn't have the acceleration that Joe will have, that the top 3 has with the overtake button. Through turn 1 we go though. This is where the less speed you have, he won't have to make a lift. For people that are using the overtake will be carrying more speed through there, but deep into turn 3, all over the curves and just about holds on to it. That was nearly a big moment there for Cam West on the exit of turn 4, and he's just losing out big time now. Little by little he's falling off. Mr. Kenko also into the pits. He started on the mediums. Zenq burning up a lot of his fuel, so a lot of his overtake. Clearly feels threatened by the pace of Joe. Joe's just got rid of a quarter of his overtake, but we are approaching a quarter of the race. 6 laps in at the end of this, so about on track. But Joe, look at that. Even in the dirty air, through turn 9, he holds on to it, and now he's burning his overtake button, tucked into the slipstream. Bit of a late move there by Zenq, but down the inside, Mighty Joe's going to go through turn 10. Zen's going to hold it round the outside. Mighty Joe has the inside through turn 11, and he will get it done. Any overtake used on exit? No. Zenq, though, did use overtake on the exit, and now it's going to be inside line all the way up to turn 1. We saw Tim and Mr. Kenko come together here. Mighty Joe tries to find it through all over the curve. Mighty Joe just about holds onto it before he goes flying off. And they just about hold on to that. That nearly ended up catastrophically for those two. Oh my, I really needed to bring up a drink, and I didn't. That's quite unfortunate, isn't it? Oh well. Down towards turn 5, Mighty Joe doesn't think about an overtake. That's a really good overtaking spot. It's a tight hairpin, but there's still 18 laps to go in this race. Doesn't want to burn up too much of the overtake. There's pit stops as well. You can just sit back in the fuel. Don't know how much fuel they're actually going to have to take, if any. But a mistake there by Zen will allow Joe to go through comfortably, and this is what I mean, it's a precision track. If it's like Trackmania. If any of you have played or seen that game, there's blue flags up ahead, I'm guessing. That is for Dirty Assassin. But you need precision all the way throughout the middle sector especially, just nailing every apex, carrying as much speed as possible through the turns. It's very tricky, and nailing it gives you the time. That's currently what we're seeing from Crowhawk, 12 seconds in the lead. You can see he's past Dirty Assassin and Mighty Joe. 1 second gap to Zenq now. As Cam without the overtake, really struggling. He's only 2 seconds off the back though, so he's still having decent pace. Still having decent pace then, despite not having the overtake button. And maybe the little battles as well have allowed him to go through. I think that was Joe going a bit deep. It's a really awkward hairpin as you're turning in for a turn-in. With a more turn, it's the changing radius of it that makes it really tricky. As Zen, again, same place which he got passed by Mighty Joe last lap. He's trying too hard now as he's coming up to Dirty Assassin. Oh, that's big into the wall there through turn 9. And Cam, he's gaining time again. Mr. Kenko into the pits for the second time. Has he picked up more damage? He has. Finally got some water. My brother brought some up. Thank you. Crowhawk comfortably into the lead. His tyres are looking fine as well. Remember, using 2 different compounds. Mighty Joe, though, comfortably in second as we speak. Zenq, Cam West, Cutty, Ian, Tim, and then the 2 arrows, Mr. Kenko and Dirty Assassin, the Belgians. down the order in 8th and 9th. Can I tell Crow loves the suit? Crowhawk loves driving. Speaking to Crowhawk, he just loves driving, doesn't he? Crowhawk, very quick driver. Watch out for him. Actually, let's have a look. Who is qualifying? See if any of these lot are doing the qualifying. See if there is anyone to keep your eye out for. Now, everyone doing qualifying will be doing the first stint tomorrow as well, and we'll go through the team order after this as well, and we'll get some ideas of that. Coming up towards turn number 10 and 11. Cam West now coming into the gap. Well, Zenku about to come under pressure. Cam West getting into slipstream range, and the podium is not off the cards here, despite not having that overtake button. And now Zen's stopped using the overtake button. He's not used it for the past few laps. Something to say, if Cam is gaining at quite a rapid rate. 3 tenths last lap. He's gaining, and now he's in slipstream range. Expect that gap to come down even more. This man is rapid. This man is scary. He is scarily quick. We saw it. He's won races in Division 3. He's the vice champion. He's the team champion in Div 3 with Alpha Pino, who's also in his team. Oh, big moment out of turn 5 there. Big tank slapper. Let's have a quick replay of that coming down towards turn 5. You see him lock up there, goes deep, doesn't get the rotation in, gets onto that curb. That curb there, it spikes up on the end of it. You don't want to go too far out, or it can spin you. It's a very dangerous curb, and not many people like the curbs at Dragon Trail. They are unforgiving, but despite that, he's still reeling in Zen. The downside, actually, the benefit of not having to use your overtake, using your overtake burns more fuel. It's like a 7th fuel mode. So if you play Gran Turismo, you'll know there's 6 fuel modes. Overtake's just like it's not like a hybrid system. You just burn more fuel. So it means these guys will maybe have to do a bit of fuel saving, or have to take some fuel in the pit stops, which is where Cam West will have the benefit. He does a bit of a wheelie there through turn 4, catching the sausage curb. These low running formula cars, not something that really would like to be going over there, I must say. But Cam he's right into the slipstream as that's Cutty coming into the pit lane, but the battle for third, back to heat up then. Last time Zenku was under pressure through this middle sector, he made a mistake and Joe went through. He won't make that same mistake this time. It's Cam that's running wide this time round, but he's still going to have that slipstream. Zen will have the overtake to defend though. Let's see, does he use it coming out of turn 9? No, he does not. Cam 7 tenths back, he won't have enough though. If he does get a good exit out of turn 10 and 11, bit of a tighter line. Who gets over the curbs more? Cam doesn't get the better exit. Mr. Kenko as well, we're going to have a bit of a tow from Cam up ahead. And Cam will just have to wait a bit longer, but we saw his exit out of this chicane here. He gained a lot of time, and it's a 3-turn chicane. You can gain so much more time through here, but following as well. Again, jumping that curb, losing himself time. Zenku calming himself down a bit, finding the pace last lap then. Cam was still 2 tenths quicker. He's a lot closer. Oh, that's Zen having a big moment there, and Cam's going to have a good run up at him then, up towards turn 9. With a quick look at that, if we can. What happened with Zen running up towards turn number 5? Watch. Comes through here. Doesn't get onto the inside curb, but yeah, that's what I mean. The curbs are unforgiving. He just goes too far over the right-hand side wheels. Get on the curb. Just get sideways and just about hold on. No, you cannot join the lobby, Vassal, because I know what you're planning. Zen, brilliant exit there through turn 11. Cam, not so much. He gets too much on the curb, no matter how much of the overtake, which Zen isn't actually using. But despite that, Zen's just more comfortable out of turn 11. Gets the power on earlier. More control of the car. Joe not closing down to Crowhawk, who's lapping about 1.5 seconds quicker than everyone else as he's coming up to Dirty Assassin for the second time this race. Having to use the overtake to actually lap him coming into turn 9. Last time I saw Dirty Assassin getting lapped, ended up in the barrier. Mighty Joe, he is coming up through the middle sector as well. It is a tricky middle sector, but in qualifying that's probably the most important. The other two sectors are actually full of quite... It's straights and hairpins, and then there's just this S's section, the quadruple apex turn. They are impressive, and in qualifying, they are really where you're gaining the most time, and we've seen Crowhawk when we've been watching him so far this race. Granted, it's not been much, but when we have watched him, he's nailed it. He's been perfect throughout as we approach lap number 14. Over halfway into this race, man. 16 minutes in. Mighty Joe slinging it through turn 2, going deep into 3, getting the turn in just about, nailing the apex for 4. And then climbing, or ascending, or descending down the hill, sorry. Oh, that's Cam having a bit of a moment. Again, curb hopping, and now, looking at his tyres, just struggling for grip, and maybe does he think about going to pits and undercutting Zen. Zen gets the tow from Cutty all the way down towards turn 5, but Cam, you can see he's clearly lacking grip. Now is it time for Cam to go into the pits and maybe go onto the mediums? Maybe undercut Zen? Maybe just trying to see what Zen does fuel-wise. Cam's a little worse off, and he's now got to deal with Cutty as well. That's a dangerous place to be lapping a car, but he has to. That incident at the turn 2, 3, 4 chicane cost him big time. 2 seconds down in his personal best, which is a 16.2. It's set on lap 7, you can see on the right hand side of your screen. Cam West deep into turn 10 again. Better exit though from turn 11, keeping on the tarmac and into the pits then. Comes Cam and Zen. Cam probably needed to get past him sooner, in all honesty. But they are going to have to take a bit more fuel. Now Cam probably have to take less fuel as he can't use the overtake button. He doesn't take fuel at all. Zen does take fuel, so what's Cam planning here? He's not making it to the end. Is Cam maybe planning a 2-stop here? Now, will he gain that much time? It was a quick pit stop, they were pretty much in and out, short pit lane. Again, jumping that curb though. I'm so glad this game isn't that realistic when it comes to damage, or that would have been not very good for Cam. That probably would have broke his front suspension as he lands. It's not gymnastics, not the best of exits from Zen Q, who's already... Is he using his overtake? Yes, Zen's using his overtake, and that's why I took a bit of fuel. He got to about half fuel, and now, yes, Cam may have been behind if he took the fuel, but he's not been saving his fuel that much, and Zen, he will burn a lot. Zen will end up burning a lot more fuel using his overtake. Like I said, it's like a 7th fuel mode. Mighty Joe's into pits and Crowhawk comfortably ahead. He's even got a pit stop ahead of him. Tiny bit of fuel goes into Mighty Joe's car. That's a beautiful livery done by Helix there. Half white, half blue, half orange, if my colours can get right. Cutty into the pits. He's picked up some front wing damage. You can see on the bottom left of your screen that flashing red front bumper is where he's picked up the damage. Crowhawk, 40 seconds near enough lead. Yes, he hasn't pitted yet. So far, he hasn't really needed to. His pace, 15s. They've been pretty much amazing all the way through. He's showing good pace. He does have to pit though. Now, wouldn't that be hilarious if he just didn't pit? Because we've not had anyone this season be disqualified for not pitting. And I'm sure Crow's not going to be like that. Helix is the team, Jerome. Harry is Helix. Oh, Oh, Crowhawk! His tyres are looking nice, but floors are out of turn number 4. Oh no! What's gone on here? Down at turn 10, in the battle for third, Cam, under a lot of pressure there from from Zen. There's Mr. Kenko in 7th up ahead coming into lap. Cam deep into the turn. Oh, very deep. You can see he locked the front right, and that will be his chance for a podium gone, and he is into the pits, he'll be putting on some rubber. Yes, this is still in replay mode. Cam, oh, if you would like to behave, I'm pressing random buttons now on my keyboard. Crowhawk yet to pit, 40 seconds in the lead. You're not losing very much time, but on those sauce with a mistake, a 14.3, and he's still setting purple laps. He will have to pit at some point though to go on to the mediums. If anyone from COC is watching, please remind him. I don't fancy someone getting disqualified, especially after this performance. He needs to go on to mediums. Joey's laps Dirty Assassin. We've seen him lapped many times this race. He's 40 seconds back, and despite being on the fresh rubber, he is still not gaining on Crowhawk, which is just a symbol to Crowhawk's pace. He's been absolutely blistering so far. And he's racing tomorrow in the 6-hour race, so expect good things from him. ZenQ as well. I believe they are racing in the same team. And we'll be trying to get some interviews from them as well, if we can. Zen telling Crow to box for tyres, as he's still not done it yet, so maybe Zen got the message. And Crow, he's coming down towards turn 5. But after this race, we'll try and get an interview with the race winner. I think we know who the race winner is going to be. He will be in very soon. 13.6 on worn softs. So these softs have gone 18 laps, and he's setting 13.6s. The tyre management and fuel management from Crowhawk's been amazing. He will be in this lap though. He will have to take a bit of fuel. As there you see, the red lights come on, which means he has a lap of fuel left. Everyone goes quite deep into turn 3, which I'm surprised about. I wouldn't expect people to go that deep into turn 3. I would have thought they would have kept it a bit straighter. Cam West down in 4:15 seconds off the back of ZenQ in third, been lapped by Crowhawk, who yet to pit. So Crow going on for another lap, and if Crow goes on to a pair of softs, that would be quite funny, because the same rules apply to everyone. Cam West, the Division 3 Vice Champion and Teams Champion, not having the best of races. Mighty Joe into the pits. And why is Mighty Joe pitted? Now where's Zen? Zen's coming round the final 2 turns. Mighty Joe, why has he pitted? He hasn't got damage, has he? No, and he's just about ahead of ZenQ. You can see, you just about saw him going through turn 1 up ahead. But now Zen, if he can put his foot down, 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds that gap comes down by. Zen could challenge for second here. A COC 1-2. We've not had COC race here yet. COC, a very good team. Mamba Strike is a COC member, race for BNR this season though. Dirty Assassin. ZenQ very late moving out the way, and Cutty getting a nice tow from Zen as well. That'll be helpful to Cutty, who's 32 seconds off the back of Ian, who's having a fairly good debut, or stream debut. He's done races which haven't been streamed before. The people that are making their GTEL debut: Crowhawk, Mighty Joe, ZenQ, Cotty, Mr. Kenko, and Dirty Assassin. Ian in that Lightning McQueen Super Formula livery. Not had the lightning speed that he would have hoped for. But running in 6th, not bad, but Crowhawk, he's gone another lap into the pits then. 100% of his lap as Dirty Assassin just in his way there. Gives him a bit of a push into the pits then. Hopefully he goes on to mediums. Mr. Kenko into the pits again. Has he got more damage? Yes, he has. He's gone and hit the wall again. 60 seconds is the gap. 1% of fuel in for Crowhawk. Fuel going into that car. 3 laps to go. What tyres has he gone to? He's gone on to mediums. And that should be fuel to the end then. After what's been a pretty dominant performance. Mighty Joe, he's coming through. That might explain why he's pitted. He's setting personal best sectors. He's not going to be gaining though. But either way, it is something. Zen not had the best pace despite having that overtake, that little bit of extra boost to give him a little bit of extra power. Cam, despite not having overtake, if he would overtake, he would be someone, especially in qualifying, could have definitely challenged. Now that would have been an interesting prospect. Cam, Tim doing Tim things, no man's land for Tim. Quite common, we got used to it. This reminds me of Season 1 at Suzuka, the first ever GTL race with Tim. I think Tim ended up finishing 5th, he was quite quiet, he just drove. He drove out the hour and kept it clean, and that's Dirty Assassin into the barrier. We could have an onboard perspective of what happened here. If it will give me one. Yeah, into the barrier. Turns in too much. Not what you want to be happening. And there's a front wing on. Crowhawk messy through the first sector, through that turn 2, 3, 4 chicane. That is a handful to say. I can't lie. 2 laps, the penultimate lap for Crowhawk. Mighty Joe's about to start the penultimate lap. Despite pitting, he's pulled out 5 seconds to ZenQ, who struggled on pace, and now Mighty Joe out of overtake. As he comes through turn 1, start the penultimate lap. ZenQ, he will start the penultimate lap. As ZenQ starts the penultimate lap, Crowhawk's coming through the final sector to start the final lap. Just about in about 20 seconds time anyway. Lockervat just nails the line through there, and he just has so much control over the car. Red light goes on. Final lap for Crowhawk. He's got a 40-second lead. He could go make a cup of tea and he will still win this race. And Crowhawk, well, he's having an absolute brilliant race, and hopefully he can continue this into the weekend, into tomorrow, when he hops into the GT3 car around the Nordschleife. ZenQ, he is coming through the multi-apex turn 9, very tricky corner, especially in a GT3 car, and that's going to be quite incredible for the Race of Champions. That's going to be a 30-minute race. 15 minutes until qualifying starts, so if you want to go make a cup of tea or coffee, whatever, nip to the shops, go get some snacks. It's going to be a brilliant 30 minutes of qualifying at the Nordschleife. We have some interviews coming up after this race. Crowhawk, he's already weaving. He knows he's got it. 2 turns to go then for the Croatian. Crowhawk round the final turn. He's got a blast up towards the line. But Crowhawk will win the first race of the weekend at the GTEL 6 Hours for Mental Health. He wins the Super Formula race. He wins the Croatian GP. Mighty Joe, he's coming through the middle sector. He's had some brilliant pace at 14 flat. Now, where was that in qualifying? Joe, 40 seconds off. he's just a symbol to Crowhawk's pace. Crowhawk, this race, amazing over 24 laps, 100 kilometers. He has been absolutely amazing. Mighty Joe, 2 turns to go for him, and he will take second for Helix then. It's going to be 2 COCs on the podium though. ZenQ, he's coming up towards turn 10. He's giving Cutty, the other Helix driver, a bit of a tow. Tim has come home in 5th, Ian's 6th, the 2 Arrows 8th and 9th. And Zen, he will go and take 3rd place for COC. 2 COCs on the podium, and is this a sign of things to come in the charity event? How much money have we raised so far? Let's have a look. Please, let's remember what we're doing this for. Link in the description if you want to donate. It's the Just Giving link, it's the top link in the description. If you can do so, please donate. It's for the charity Mind. They're a brilliant charity for mental health. They do a lot of things. If you're familiar with Jimmy Broadbent, you'll know this is the charity that Jimmy does the 23 hours of Zolder around. But a Grand Slam and a clean race bonus for Crowhawk to go along with it. Pole fastest lap race win. Confirmation of the race results then. Crowhawk will win with Mighty Joe taking second for Helix, and ZenQ will be bringing home 2 trophies for COC. Cam West in 4th after having that crash at turn 10 ruled out his chances of finishing on the podium. Tim having a quiet race in 5th. Ian on stream debut gets 6th. Cutty 7th. Kenko and Assassin for Arrows finish 8th and 9th. It's been a brilliant opening race here. I'll ask Crowhawk if he can do an interview, and we'll get some words with him. First race has been done then. That's a brilliant first race then. Congratulations to Crowhawk, and now we'll move on to qualifying. Qualifying in 10 minutes at 4:30. Let's get this out and shared. Let's get the lobby code done. Cam West would also like an interview, so if we can get him in. I'm also gonna... I apologise for the blue screen. I'm just trying to invite Crowhawk if we can. See if we can get a word with Crowhawk. Just before the qualifying. Hello, Cam. Can you just make sure you've got your mic settings?
Hello, hello.
Hello, Crow. Right, we'll start... 1 minute. Let's just go and share the stream... not stream out. Just need to put the qualifying lobby code in the Discord. And then... we'll get to this interview.
Sure.
It's really annoying putting these codes in because they're massive. I don't know why I can't just invite people in this game, because it then causes so many more problems. No. We had a bit of a delayed start then because the 2 Arrow guys couldn't join, because Gran Turismo is like that. So then, first... Crowhawk, Juggy, Mr. COC, that was pretty dominant, if I don't say so.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for the messages of support, and yeah, I really didn't do any practice. If I did some practice, I would be like 2 seconds quicker. But yeah, I guess
Well,
it was
I'm glad you didn't do any practice because that was dominant. Actually, can everyone hear Crowhawk? Actually, have you got your share settings on? You know, the mic share settings.
right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I checked the stream. It's alright.
Yeah. All good then. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that was dominant, to say the least. Is that a sign of things to come with COC this weekend going into the Nordschleife?
Yeah, we practice a lot. I think the practice will pay off this weekend, and
Mamba is qualifying for your team, isn't he? Do you have confidence in Mamba? I mean, he's Div 2 runner-up. Do you think he's got potential?
He's got potential for sure. I mean, Div 2 runner-up, it isn't that bad. He had some great races there, and we believe in him. We believe in every single member in our team, and we hope for a great result.
Do you wish you was doing qualifying, or are you happy doing the final stint to bring it home tomorrow?
I'm happy doing it. Whatever. I'm really just happy to participate in such a great event, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
So you've also got the other COC team. You've got COC 2, the number 8 car, ZenQ. How do you think he's gonna? Do you think he's gonna do good?
We're just happy to participate. That's all. We're hoping to get a good result. Let's just hope for the best. What to say?
Predictions for both cars in qualifying. Where do you think we're gonna go?
We're hoping for top 5.
The real question is, do you think you can take the fight to SVV? You've got Bruno and Santos to beat. Do you think you can?
Yeah, they're quick guys. We practice a lot, and as I said, we hope for the best, and that our practice pays off in the end.
Well, thank you, Crow. Congratulations. That was quite something to watch.
Thank you. And
Cam.
good luck to all drivers in quali. Yeah.
Cam, I move to you. First,
right?
do you have your mic share settings on? Because
I do. I've just done it right now.
that is good. You didn't have the best of races. You did have pace despite not having the overtake button on. You did have that mistake at turn 10. What happened at turn 10? It seemed you just locked the front left and just went on.
I just think when you're in the slipstream behind Zen, and then just braking a little bit later than I should, and I was gone by then, and it was really frustrating because we were in a good position. You know, it was difficult trying to keep up with the guys in front because getting the overtake button, but it just kept pushing the limits, and I used as much curb as I could. I was trying to maximize everything out of the car, so yeah, it was good. I was happy with that, but you know, that's not it for us at Lynx Racing. You know, our focus is tomorrow.
You was top though out of everyone that didn't have overtake. So does that give you confidence? Maybe if there was another Super Formula event in the future, you could maybe challenge.
Definitely, just like Crowhawk was saying, I don't think anyone in this race today would practice. Everyone's focus is for the charity race tomorrow. But yeah, definitely, yeah, 100%. I think it's something that should be brought through to the future. We don't have much open wheel racing, so definitely try and expand, get a wider audience. I think it's a good thing.
Moving on to the charity event, your junior, Scrub Junior, who was meant to be qualifying for you and racing in Stint 1 for you, has had to back off.
Yeah, he pulled out.
Tyler, how do you think he's going to do? He's coming in R4M Tyler. How do you think he's going to fare?
To be honest with you, quick. Obviously. Came home at about 12 o'clock and found out that he wasn't going to be racing for us, so it was a bit unorganised. We didn't know what we were going to do, and Tyler pulled through. So I don't hold any expectations. Look, it's a charity event. We're here to have fun, and we've all spoken with each other between Dino, Nick, Tyler, and myself. And the main focus for us is to stay consistent because
your team does have a really strong lineup. Alfa Pino, Div 3 champion, yourself, Div 2 vice champion, Dino. He's taken the fight to Devil before in Season 1. We know all of them have pace. We don't really know Tyler's pace. He's a bit of an unknown for you as well, as he's coming in last second. Do you think, though, not necessarily in qualifying because you don't know about Tyler's pace, but do you think in the race you can take it to, say, SVV, COC and NDC?
Well, I was just going to say that. I think, be realistic here, those guys are they're like robots, they're machines, they're a different level, but it's good to race with them because you learn a lot when you watch them. So look, we'll see how we go. You don't know what's going to happen in the first corner, but we just, you know, see how it goes, and if we're there, we'll take it, and if it's not, then, you know, let it be. But yeah, we're confident. We put the practice in, so as long as we're up there, the top 5 finish would be nice. So
you're
we'll push every all the way.
You're doing stint 2 tomorrow, which is the evening stint. So not the easiest conditions. I mean, Alf Pino, probably, no disrespect on him, the team, but obviously he's the Div 3 champion. He's probably the quickest driver there. He's been stuck in the night race, and that's probably going to be the trickiest stint, especially every stint around the Nordschleife. We know how tricky this circuit is. It's 170 plus turns. This is a really tricky circuit. It's terrifying, but
it's the green hell, as they call it. It's horrible. You just get no confidence. There's no good feeling. It's hard trying to, you know, visualize and get the muscle memory for every single corner. And just 1 second when you're not in the moment, it's gone. But in terms of Nick doing the night stint, we practiced last week and we did night settings, and Nick just said, "I'm doing night. I love it. I've got confidence. I'm going to do the night stint." So he seems confident. I spoke with him early this morning, so we just see how it goes. The main thing in this race is just keeping it out the wall, keeping clean, and seeing where we end up, you know, in the last hour to go. And that's what we need to do. We all know that. So yeah, looking forward to it. But I'm looking forward to qualifying now. I'm excited to see how we do. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Cam. Thank you to Crowhawk as well. Good luck to the pair of you. And
perfect. Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Well, we are moments away from qualifying, then let's actually go through who will be qualifying. We'll go through the teams. If you haven't seen who's on what team and who's doing who is here, we've got Lynx Racing, which is R4M Tyler, Cam West, Alf Pino, and Dana Rod Cam West, who we've just been speaking to. SVV Team A, Bruno, Ento, Beppa Bonnie, which is a weird name, I'm gonna probably butcher that a few times. And Ruben, the Season 2 champion, he's got some brilliant pace. Missy Santos, I think that's how you pronounce it, for SVV Team B. Raved, who's a quick driver, I've heard he's faster than Ruben, watch out for him. I think there's another Bruno and Baldessera. These Italian and Brazilian names, I'm gonna butcher them, I do apologise. Motorsport West, DJ, Online Kreutzer, Mr. Osaka and J. Stamm, a very familiar team. Watch out for them, they could actually spring a surprise. Online Kreutzer grew up not far from the Nordschleife. He's driven this in real life. He's someone who does have experience around here in real life. He's someone to watch out for. Canam, Juice Realm, Elmer, Gossau and Tim. That's a team lineup that could surprise a few. Can spring a surprise, can cause some problems and bring some unknowns. Be COC1, Mamba Strike, Yaya, Olaf and Crowhawk. That's a scary team. Olaf, incredibly quick driver. He's quicker than Crowhawk in my opinion, but we'll see tomorrow. BNR has Philo, Brian, Vlave and BJ Urenson. BJ Urenson, not the quickest driver. We saw him at season's end at Interlagos, caused some problems. He's on the final stint. Halix, Joseph, Svander, Lee and Mighty Joe. Just seen Mighty Joe, he's anchoring them tomorrow, but after his pace today in Super Formulas, maybe if he can continue that to a GT3 car, Halix might want him qualifying. TBRT, Car 1, Vasilinkok, Prada, Gary and Shregu. So not the best of teams, quite a few low-ranked Div 3 drivers, but Vasilinkok, probably the biggest name in there. He's a Div 1 driver, we know he's got some pace, we know he can do something. TBRT, the second car, Huber, Giotto, Paolo and Phil. Paolo moved over from N2C to TBRT. He's someone to watch out for. CCRL, Poctavian, Sim, and Albertini. Albertini, we've seen him before. He's a quick driver. He can take a fight. Two Vidiv 2 boys. So watch out for him. COC2, ZenQ, who came third. Spogazan, Macaulay, and Ben MK. Some of you may be familiar with Ben MK from SSRO. Quick driver. So that's COC Team 2. And both COCs actually is a team to watch out for. NDC, Don Beeson, Barracuda, Bezabuka, and M. Sati. That's a quick lineup. Quite consistent throughout their lineup as well. And then the final team, a new team driver's room. De Guren, Ivan, Plux Vidok, and Tenard Fox. Tyler, Bruno, Santos, DJ, Juice, Mamba, Philo, Joseph, Vaslincock, Huber, Poctavian, Zen, Don Beeson, and De Guren should be the ones qualifying. And let's have a look through here to make sure everyone that is here that should be qualifying is here. Right. Lee isn't qualifying. Lee's not meant to be qualifying. We are missing Juice Realm. Mamba is not here yet, so we're just missing Mamba and Juice. And we will be ready to go. Please share out the stream as well. That's a message and a half. Juice has had to go to the hospital. So who's quali? Canam will need someone to quali for them. Dominic says he's not grown up too far from here either. But that's a shame. Juice has had to bail on the Race of Champions as well. That's unfortunate. It would be nice to see Juice return. Lee's doing it for Halix. Nope, he is not. That is what... Where is he? PC Willie. That is a name and a half. So Canam will be starting last. Right, Tim will quali. So just a few delays. As my sound has gone a bit. Let's try and adjust that. There we go. How much money have we raised for the charity so far? Let's have a look. If we refresh the page, £142. It's quite impressive, I must say. So we are just waiting. There's Mamba, and now we're just waiting on Tim. Tim will qualify for Canam. So sorry for the delays. We're about 10 minutes off schedule in typical GTEL fashion. Predictions, everyone. Who's going to put on pole for the big 6 hour tomorrow? All of these guys will be starting first. It's a hard one to call. We just need Mamba to ready up, and we need Tim. Tim not here. So long lap around the green hell as well. There's Vaslincock, as we see him in that TBRT car just after the carousel. I don't know many corner names around for Nordschleife. There's about 170 of them, so Here's Tim. We will be ready to start. But stuff like that, very easy to do. There's the carousel, the first carousel DJ is coming through. Motorsport West, expect something good from the German team. They should do well here. And all 14 ready to go. If you want a spotter's guide, it's on our Instagram, GTEL official. Just waiting for Tim to load up, and we will be ready to go. And once Tim ready's up, we will ready. Take your track map, no, right. Do I load up a track map? Norge. Nordschleife corner names. There are a lot of corner names there. I am not getting this. Anyway, people. We're nearly ready to go. There is a lot of corner names, that is. Does Philo have the right car? Let's have a look. No, let's not enter the race. See? Philo, where is Philo? Philo's currently 5th. He's in the Porsche. That's the right car. Here we go, everyone. We hope for the best. It's 8-minute laps here. They're long laps. Who's going to be king of the ring? Who's going to master the green hell and put on pole for tomorrow? 30 minutes. It's a long qualifying session. It's one of patience and everyone out early. SVV doing their typical waiting, but everyone wanting to be out early. They'll be able to give each other space. It's a long outlap though. 30 minutes seems like a long time, but it's not when you think about they're only going to get about the same amount of laps that they do in normal GTL races with the 10 minutes. There's a driver's room car. The Gura. He is racing for them. I'm striking the number 7 COC car. BBR Cuba in the number 419 TBRT car. The TBRT cars 419 and 417. A nice tribute on them. Inspired by Mick Schumacher's 47, 419 and 417 for Antoine Hubert and for Jules Bianchi. Hence the 419 for Hubert and 417 for Jules Bianchi. 2 French F1 and F2 driver, Jules Bianchi and F1 driver, scored the only points for Mana, or Mana/Marussia. Terrible team, worse than Williams was in the past few seasons, and worse than Haas are now. He brilliant at Monaco, getting 9th place, I think it was in 2014, sadly died after a crash at Suzuka, 9 months in a coma. And Antoine Hubert involved in the 2019 Spa F2 crash. And it seems they're both French, and it's the French GP. It's a nice tribute by them. The number 8 COC car, ZenQ's qualifying. We've just seen him race in the Super Formula car, so how warmed up is he? He's got a long outlap to try and get nice and zoned into the car, but off from Tyler is out first for Lynx Racing. And who is going to bin it? Who's on Pirellis is what I want to know. If anyone's on Pirellis, expect some problems from them. BBR Huber's ghosted for this outlap. I can't imagine why. BBR Huber just messaged me saying big issues. Poctavian for the CCRL team. CCRL is a fellow racing league which has put in a team for the charity event, which I find is quite cool of them. We've got a nice livery, I must say, designed by Hayden Clampett. That's the driver's room team jumping over the curb. Coming down hats and backs through the Flugplatz, I think this is. It's the only corners I know. Who's coming through the... DJ's just come through the Sabine Schmidt corner. turn 1, the official first turn of the Nordschleife. Named after the Queen of the Nordschleife, who sadly died earlier this year. Rest in peace to her. A brilliant racing driver in her own right. DJ taking a slow out lap. Now this isn't actually too bad. Everyone's having to go flat out because they want to get a lap in, but this will burn up your tyres quite quick. Your tyres are going to have some wear on them come the end of the lap already, as Philo takes the lead of the train. Coming all the way down, that's Mamba getting all sorts of shakies and a lot more controlled in the Lexus. CSC using two different cars. The McLaren's been a popular pick as well as the driver's room. The number 333, it's actually changed, it was 393. Jumping over the curb. The NDC in the Lexus. A very bland looking car. It looks like an undercover police car and unmarked with all of that black. Then you turn back, see the pink. Oh, there's BBR Huber into the wall. What's happened here? He's sadly, or luckily, not picked up any damage. There's Octavian coming through. He's crawling on the exit of the Flue Platz. Yeah, just over the curb. Hits the side wall. Slipstream is on... If my brain will work, it's on real. Slipstream's on real. So down this long back, down the long back straight, it's about 2 kilometers, I believe. It's going to cause some problems. Don Beeson for NDC, winding his way up towards miss, hit, miss, as Jimmy Broadbent's nicknamed it. Missed the first apex, hit the second, missed the third, to maximise the time gained. If you're familiar with Jimmy Broadbent, his channel gained popularity off his Nordschleife series where it just lap random cars and sim racing around it. No one's on a hot lap yet. It's a long out lap. We're nearly 5 minutes into the qualifying session. No one's actually started an out lap, hence how big this track is. The BNR car, number 99, Philo. Poctavian's left the room. That'll be... Oh, who is Poctavian in? Let's have a look. There's issues for BBR Huber's pedals, so that's problematic for the TBRT car. I would like to remind everyone, Philo is meant to be doing second stint. It was a change this morning. Brian's had to go out somewhere, so Philo's had to do the first. So Philo's done qualifying, and he'll do the first stint. Poctavian's doing it for CCRL, so CCRL will start at the back of the grid, as he's had to leave early. Philo for BNR, then he leads the way as they've just come through the carousel. Some of us coming just towards it. It's a beautiful sound, that Lexus Vez NQ. It's a beautiful livery as well. Whoever's designed the number 8 COC car, that is beautiful. Zen's going to get a nice tow as well down the back straight. I know it doesn't count for anything. See the 15-kilometer board. Huber can't keep on the track. Oh, who's that off into the background? That's R4M Tyler. He's picked up some damage, and that's not what's needed. And oh, excuse me, it will be best then. R4M Tyler should just go back to lobby. And this is what I mean, picked up damage. If we actually look through, has anyone else picked up damage? Vaseline he was making some moves into the barrier earlier. He has not. DJ's at the back, he's coming through the carousel now. Up towards the second carousel, Philo is approaching. Ben made the Lexus livery well. He's done a good job there. If he can drive like he's... If he can drive for 90 minutes like he can make a livery, then COC2, they are looking scary. For number 88 BNR car, there's only one BNR car here. Well, you can count 2 if you count the Helix car, but that's technically a different team. Philo was signed up for the second stint, but this morning Brian changed it. So Philo will now do first stint, as Brian didn't realise he had to come out. 31 people watching, hello. Whilst, just before everyone starts their flying laps, we are doing this for charity. This is 6 hours from 12 to 6 hour races tomorrow, qualifying today. We have a race of champions after with the champions from the 2 seasons. and just the big names going up against each other later as well. Top link in the description is where you can donate. If you can donate, please do. Everyone will be on the softs. Everyone is on soft. The only ties you can use is the softs. Please, please, please donate if you can, though. Link in the description. We want to raise as much money as possible. It means a lot. Thank you to everyone that has donated so far. I've raised 142 quid. Coming to the end of the Nordschleife, going on to the Nürburgring then. We've raced at the Nürburgring before for the past 2 seasons, and Philo will be the first to start a lap then. Out he comes. Then you see the COC cars, Mamba and Zen. The 2 COC cars next. The driver's room car, driven by De Guren. He's been placed on quali duty. A long blast down towards turn 1. No setups on either. Philo looks so fast it's scary. NDC, Don Beeson for NDC. Heard he's quick as well. Let's see what he can do for quali as he approaches turn 1. It's a different turn 1. You go. It's a instant. It's not the full hard hairpin that we used to on the GP circuit. Then turn in, then you flick it left into turn 2, and then you continue. Then there's also the endurance chicane, which is a lot faster. It's less rough on tyre wear. Coming towards the bottom of the track, the southernmost point of the Nordschleife. Dunlop curve. Bruno has been placed in. He's been entrusted with qualifying for SVV. Here's a team to watch out for. They've got Ruben and Ento, the Div 1 Constructors Champions, SVV. Ruben not lost a race in GTEL. He's hoping his team doesn't make that a reality, which he does lose a race, which for this wouldn't really count. But in the GT3 series, it has gone Ruben's way every race he's been in, so is that a sign for the number 1 SVV? PC Willie, he's qualifying for the Helix team. That's a beautiful livery. What they've done on the Super Formula car, which we saw earlier, has been slapped onto this car, and it looks amazing. Tim, last minute replacement for the Can-Ams in qualifying, as he slings up Schumacher S up towards turn 9, which, if you remember in season 1, this was nicknamed the Gunter Steiner curve. Turn 9 and 10, I believe it is, on the GP circuit. It was a boring race. We got bored. We nicknamed it the Gunter Steiner curve. We found it hilarious. Vaslincock, he's coming through there as well. It'll be interesting to see how he can put that car. He's probably, on paper, got the weakest team. 2 Div 3 drivers, and then a guy who's new to the game, Schragu's friend Gary. But they are here for charity. They're here to have some fun. DJ out of the pits. So what's DJ doing? DJ not setting a lap, and they are short for time. He's went to pits and he's now up the road from Philo. Catching a bit of air there through. What part is this? Let's have a look. If I can actually find a decent track map. Come on, Business Insider, show me the picture. You're going to take forever, aren't you? Yep. Go away. They're coming through one of 170 turns. This is why it's so famous. Philo has actually... Philo and Mamba's within touching range of Philo, so he's not darting away massively. I think Mamba may not be running high fuel mode through this part, up towards miss, hit, miss. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It means it can keep accelerating more. De Guren for the driver's room team. Be interesting how drivers room do. We've not known any of the drivers room. Every single one of them not raced in GTEL before. It's a brand new team here for us. It's nice to see new faces and see what they can do through this brilliant event for us. Don Beeson, he's also not raced here, but he's someone that's hyped up massively by his boss Hayden, who is racing tomorrow. He's doing the evening stint 2 NDC Barracuda. Stint 2 is one to watch out for as well. It's going to be the Battle of Delivery Makers. There's a bit of a rivalry going on there. Barracuda, Brian and Giotto. In the GTEL Discord, bit of an argument about who's the better livery designer. Well, that's going to go on there. And it's going to be quite a funny one. Apparently Degurant's quick. Hayden hasn't hyped Dom up too much, except every chance he gets. PC Willie also on debut here. It's a big moment to be it's a big time to be making your debut. If you're not raced here before, stick it in quali. It's an interesting one. But F1 if you're watching, whilst you're at it, let's actually go through our description. We've got a bit of more information in the description if you want to know about why we're doing this. Top link. Please donate if you can. If you can't, that's fine. Our partners, Grid Finder and Goat Prints. Every person driving, every person racing here gets a discount code at Goat Prints. The winners also get a bit more of a discount code. Goat Prints, go check them out. They do F1 sort of canvases, posters, those sorts of things. Quite historical, some of them, like Senna ones, Prost ones. Very good, go check them out. Grid Finder. A lot of you will be familiar with them. They are providing each winner. So the 4 winners, so each driver from the winning team, they get a pair of racing gloves from Grid Finder. And then the people who have promoted us on Instagram, Bought F1, if you're watching, your good friend Giotto is racing for the number 419 TBRT McLareners. PC Willie kicks up some sparks there. Just shows how committed he is through there as he approaches the first carousel. Formula God comments. I'm sure many of you, if you're on Instagram, will be familiar with them. You find a really funny comment, you ping F1 God comments, it goes on their page. Brilliant. 67k followers. They are amazing. GT Sport Liveries is a small page showcasing some of the best GT Sport liveries. Thank you for promoting us as well. Every little helps. And Funny F1, one of the best F1 meme pages there is, and also owns a racing team. Surprised that Funny F1 wasn't in here actually. I know Funny F1's got some pretty quick drivers, which some of the people racing here used to be in. Philo catching some air on the run up to the second carousel. The second carousel, one of the most hated corners, and you'll see why in a minute. It's not like the first carousel, it's a full 180-degree turn. Look how awkward that is. I mean, the first carousel is an awkward entry. That, 10 times more. Oh, excuse me. I am talking so much. Sorry. I wish it was 134. Please shout the stream so we can get there. 34 people watching. Our peak is 38. Our record is 38. Can we beat it in qualifying alone? Now, that would be interesting to see what we can do in the actual race. Down this long back straight. Manbert and Zen, they've bridged a bit of a gap to Gurant as well. He's coming through there. And Dom Beeson, not far off him. So 5 people on this long back straight. No one really getting a bit of a slipstream. Philo leads the train. It's fairly spread out train. I don't think Mamba's just in slipstream range because Gran Turismo's not quite like F1. Carousel 2 does suck. Tyler and Giotto for this one. Well bought F1, I would like to thank you for supporting Giotto. Giotto's in my team racing here, TBRT. First lap then, 13 minutes to go. An 8-minute 11, and then an 8-minute 8 to go. Provisional pole for Mamba Strike. COC 8. Zenq an 8-minute 10. Degurant for the driver's room team. He will go third with an 8-minute 10. Dom Beeson currently going purple up towards the line. An 8-minute 7 will put him provisional pole. That's a quick lap there by Dom Beeson. And everyone hyping up Philo. Not quite had the pace everyone was saying as the first 5 to cross the line. He's currently dead last. Bruno, he's got a little bit more to go as he's coming through the final section of tarmac on the Nordschleife of this green helm. He's not had the fastest lap here. It's going to put him right down at the bottom of the order here as he'll cross the line with an 8-minute 15. PC Willie up towards the line. Well, will this put him? He will go 6th with an 8-minute 12.9. Terrible Tim. Not the quickest lap from him either up towards the line. 8 minutes 16.7. Vasilenko next across the line. Not the best of exits from the final turn. Onto the long main straight, and it gains a good few hundred meters up towards the line. Vasilenko very slow in the number 417 McLaren for TBRT. An 8 minute 18. BBR Huber had problems with his pedals, fortunately not to pick up any damage. Brought F1. I've watched whole Super Fun race, and for this I just haven't been commenting. Well, BBR Huber, Jota, sorry, Brought F1. Sorry to disappoint, but Jota right now currently last with an 8 minute 34. BBR Huber wishing he can do a bit better in qualifying. Down the long back straight for Missy Santos. DJ yet to set a lap, and has Tyler actually started his lap yet? Poctavian for the CCRL team has not started a lap yet, but watch out for the Lynx Racing teams. Hello Monica, where have you been? Heavy damage will be on in the race. Not the quickest lap either from Santos. Not the Santos we've known to grow and love, but it's an SVV Santos, so I'm sure we're going to grow to love him anyway. Up towards the line, he goes 10th with an 8 minute 19. TJ's on an out lap, he's going through to start his final, remember, start a flying lap, he'll be able to get 2 more laps in. Everyone else will be able to get 2 more laps in. Now with tyres, it's 1% tyres and fuel, so it's not like the normal GTEL 3 times where you'd really have burnt up a pair of tyres. Oh, Mammoth Strike drifting through there. He's currently going purple by 7 tenths in probably which is the 4th sector out of many. I am very good, thank you Neo. Don Beeson provisional pole, indeed. Mammoth Strike's hunting him down though. Zen Q, he is also hunting down that pole time. Now we need to remember what order everyone set their laps in. Zen, he's currently 2.5 seconds off, and normally on a short track this would be this wouldn't be the best look, but 2.5 seconds around for Nordschleife, very easy, and a lot of these teams are probably setting in bank laps because people know, they've got it in their head that people will crash. Heavy damage, we've already seen it once. The Lynx Racing team, they've crashed, that's put a halt to them. And that's why everyone's getting a bank lapping, because on their push lap they might crash, and then they can't set another lap, or other people might crash. And as long as they get a time in, they'll qualify ahead of them. So, most people on track have 2 laps left in them, and I think it's going to start getting spicy. Provisional pole man, Dom Beeson. Now that final lap actually, they don't have much time to finish it. Now, Gran Turismo only allows you to go up to 3 minutes on that final. Gran Turismo only allows you to go up to a 3 minutes extra instead of the 8 minutes to allow everyone to qualify, to everyone to finish. But so this second lap here is going to be absolutely crucial. Zen Q, that Lexus going to be brilliant on race pace. Watch that tomorrow. Hot lapping may not be the best, it may be lackluster, but so far currently in 3rd. But qualifying doesn't mean much here. Really, it didn't let me put 10 minutes extra on. It only let me go up to 3 minutes. Either way, this second lap now going to be crucial, but qualifying, it's not the most important thing. There's 6 hours. 6 hours on the cards. Now, that's a lot longer. I mean, 30 minutes qualifying, yes. Oh, big hit there by De Guren, the driver's room car. Let's have a replay of that, as I'm struggling to get my words out. High-speed section through here just before the second carousel, or just before the first carousel catches the curb, see the rear end, goes into the barrier. That's going to cause some damage, and that is the driver's room qualifying done. Unless they can really manage that rear damage, that's going to impact the aero, going to impact the turning. As he then does a wheelie out the carousel as well. That's going to be the driver's room qualifying, near enough done, unfortunately. That is why you set a banker lap. Don Beeson really pushing the limits and having a bit more stable car in the Lexus. Right now he is flying. Provisional poleman. Philo, he's currently ghosted, so Philo picked up some damage. He's had to box. So it'll be Mamba to cross the line. Actually, no, it will not. R4M Tyler, DJ is 3 minutes up to the lap. Down the long back straight. R4M Tyler for the Lynx Racing Team. They are yet to set a lap. He's been clean on his out lap. Messed up his first out lap, picked up some damage, heavy damage actually. There's Vaseline pitting. That'll be his qualifying. Donny won't be able to get out and do another lap. So the best they will start is 9th. Tyler clobbering through the curbs. It's looking like a decent lap so far. Onto the main straight. Where will this put him? He may have time for one more lap up towards the line. He goes 6th with an 8:12. That's a good lap there by the Lynx Racing driver. Oh, Mamba strike! He's off just before he heads on to the long back straight, and that's going to cost him crucial seconds, especially the acceleration onto the back straight. It's a good 2 kilometers. You're waiting for Maisto? Well, I don't mean to disappoint. There is no Maisto. And that is Vaseline leaving, and that will be the TBRT team starting last, as their time will not register. If the time does register, that's fine, but he really shouldn't have left, and that's just unfortunate. Mamba strike coming down the long back straight, then through the final few curves, flat through there. Awkward braking, you're braking as you're turning, so easy to lose it through that section round the final turn. Power on as early as possible, down towards the line, keep it in a straight line. Fortunately, the straight line is the racing line, up towards the line. Speaking of lines, I think that mistake at the final turn really impacted. Then Q doesn't improve either. Mamba strike having some problems. Don Beeson, he improved by 3/10 with an 8:07.3. The Gurant, he will be next to set a lap. 31 seconds. That's how bad the damage is for him. And Bruno, he will then be next to cross the line after. Just trying to find everyone that actually is setting a lap right now. So the Gurant, oh, he's off again. Who's that in the background? I think that's PC Willie. Yes, PC Willie up towards the line. It's looking like a quick lap for him. He's going to improve up towards the line. PC Willie. He will go third. He puts on a second row of the grid with an 8:09. That's a brilliant lap by PC Willie. Bruno next. He does not improve. He's 5 seconds off his personal best. And Santos, he's a long way back, but he's currently improving by 1.7 seconds. Tim, he improves with an 8:15. SVV is struggling. Yeah. So far, this is not what we expected from SVV. I'm sure SVV probably would have liked Raved or Ruben to do the qualifying, but they're not available, hence why they're doing the later stints. Or maybe they wanted them to do the later stints, maybe they want to do the tricky stints, the night stints. They are the crucial stints where you're gaining the most time. When the junior team beat the main team, Lamar. Was a good lap there by PC Willie, put up third row of the grid. It's very good for the Helix team, as Joseph had to back out, but Santos up towards the line for the Taurus layout, that is. But as it stands, Miss Santos, he's improving. Not by much. 3.5 seconds ahead is Tim. 2 seconds is what Santos is gaining. He's going to need a good X out the final turn. He will be improving, but by how much? BBR Huber's saying F. I don't know why, as he picked up some damage. Santos, he improves an 8:17, but again, not the cleanest lap. And even an amazing team like SVV are struggling around a track like the Nordschleife. Why? Well, this track is insane. There's damage for Huber. And that'll be his qualifying done. So sorry, Bois, but things are getting worse. DJ with damage up towards line, he will go into 11th, and Huber may not even actually get round to doing a lap. NDC Don Beeson as he's on his final lap, coming just on the exit of Flew Platz. De Guren, he's in the pits for his driver's room qualifying done. But as it stands then, NDC provisional pole, the number 7 COC car is second. Helix in third. Zheng Q for the number 8 COC parked in. That'll be his qualifying done. Bestial finishes fourth. Driver's room in the pits, currently fifth. So Fido's doing a practice start, I think, when it's not even gonna, it's a rolling start. So that's interesting. BNR currently 6th. Lynx, after having a problematic start to qualifying, Tyler's picked up more damage. They're currently 7th. The number 1 SVV car we expected more from, currently in 8th. They've picked up some damage. The Can-Am currently running 9th, beating one of the SVVs and improving. They can actually beat both SVVs as well, the way Tim is improving. Santos for the number 2 SVV car, improving as he comes through the Sabine Schmidt corner, also known as turn 1 of the full Nordschleife layout. DJ for MSW, he's 11th, and BBR Huber, the number 419 TBRT car is 12th. He'll be 13th for the number 417 TBRT car, and Poctavian in the CCRL team car will be down in last. 2-1 finishes in qualifying as we approach the end, and Don Beeson 1.1 seconds, which is actually not much at the Nordschleife. It's quite impressive, and he's still improving. And this is with tyres going, but the car's getting lighter, it's easier to control. The car's getting faster, the track's getting rubbered in. And now, here's where it's getting crucial. Mamba made a mistake last time round. Well, this is where drivers are actually made a mistake last time round for him. Mamba just about avoids the barrier. Bit awkward through there as Mamba runs up towards the first carousel. Maybe he felt the car going away from him, sticks into the carousel nicely, doesn't let it get away from him, that's good. You don't want to end up falling out of the carousel and then highlining it. That's really not what you want to be doing, that's not on your bucket list. Then he's bailed out of this lap we saw earlier. I don't think he'll be improving. Don Beeson, oh, he's shaky out of there. A bit earlier up the road from where Mamba was looking uncomfortable. He's about 10 to this hairpin. This might be a good overtaking spot actually in the race. A long run up into his hairpin just before the carousel. Watch out for that. DJ sandbagging. As my phone's actually just died, I've just realised. What's happening with SVV? Damage, it seems. Oh, Don Beeson nearly cost NDC a huge repair bill. Now that's Mamba Strike, who's picked up a half-second penalty, so he's clearly been pushing the track limits too much. And he's not improving anyway. PC Willie, however, how's he improving? This is someone we really need to watch out for. If he... 2.6 seconds, you can find that round for Nordschleife. An 8:09, that is impressive. Zenq's bailed, only 2/10 is what Zenq needed to find, and you could easily find that. There's 170 corners, you don't need to find much. Oh, PC Willie, that might be a track limits there. All sorts of sideways. Oh, PC Willie drifting there, that's going to cost him around about a second. That's unfortunate there, and that could be crucial to the boys over in Helix. Round final turn then for Lynx Racing. Tyler, he won't be improving, he's picked up damage at the rear, and that'll be qualifying done for R4M Tyler. The best they will finish then, or the best they will start, will be 7th. Lynx Racing first to properly finish qualifying and take the checkered flag. Mamba Strike, he's bailed down the back straight, getting the rest of his penalty gone. He won't be improving. PC Willie's been drifting. I think it's safe to say Hayden was saying he would like to take the fight to NDC. Or Hayden, NDC Barracuda, saying he would like to take the fight to SVV. He was hoping for a top 5 qualifying, and as it stands right now, as he actually passes NQ, he might have got a bit of a toe down there as well. He might do one better. Mamba around the final turn. He will not be improving, sadly, up towards the line. He will not improve. NDC Don Beeson, though, he's not improving either. So his lap time's gone right down. But so far, it looks like it will be pole for NDC. Doesn't account for much, but is a sign of pace. But there's still 3 other drivers yet to hit the track. Bruno, where is he? Someone's up ahead of Bruno. Can we see who? Bruno's improving. Philo's actually on a lap. He's coming through hats and backs. Tim's coming down the long back straight. Now, can we find out who's on a lap? That's if they improve anyway. But Bruno around the final turn, up towards the line. He just about improves. And he bridges the gap to Tim. Tim improving up towards the line. What can Tim do? Tim beats out SVV. Can-Am go Ave? Who would have thought that? Terrible Tim. He's put it ahead of both SVV cars provisionally. There's still one on track though. What can Santos do? He's currently improving. He's still got a fair way to go. He's still got about a minute of driving. Santos, he needs to find some time around here. He can do it, but what a story that would be. Can-Am beating out both SVVs. Halix putting in 3rd as well. That is brilliant. He's 1.3 up though. If he can find more time, if he's had a good exit onto the long back straight, that could gain him at least a couple more tenths. And so far, he may be pipping Bruno here. Tim pipped Bruno by only a 10th. So Santos still has it in him. It's not over until it's over. He does need a good final section. Keep it planted. Don't make a mistake for Rev. Sparks kicking up. Trackmania time. Nailing the curves. Braking perfectly into the car. So planted deep though. Into the final turn. That might have cost him a few tenths there. Opening up that Mercedes engine. Keeping it as straight as possible. The number 2 SVV car. Where will it be? Stays 10th. DJ. He's also on a lap. He's improving. He's 3 seconds up, but he's only got a tiny bit to go. He's currently 11th. He swings it through the final few corners. A better exit. Can he beat the number 2 SVV car? Can he put it ahead of them? Up towards the line. He will stay 11th. There's one car on track. And he's not got damage, but he does have a penalty. He needs to find 2 tenths, and it's the BNR car. TNR Philo is the only guy this season that's come close to beating Ruben. He needs to find 4 seconds to put on pole. We can't say it's pole for NDC yet. Philo's still got a penalty to get rid of as well. But so far he's improving, and it would be unfortunate for him not to get rid of the penalty. The lap doesn't count, or the time gets added on. Deep through there. Oh, he's hit the barrier. That's going to cost him some time. Loses the rear red. Just about catches it. That's going to cost him some time. They still might beat driver's room. They may, depending on how his final section is. 3rd is on the cards here. But he needs to get rid of that 4 tenth penalty. Bruno says he's bottled it. Up towards the line then. About a kilometre to go. Final few corners for Philo. What's it going to be for him? Round the final turn, up towards the line then. He's keeping that penalty. What's it going to be? 5th for BNR. They knocked driver's room down. Without that penalty, without that penalty, they would have been in 3rd. NDC on pole. It's a brilliant lap there by Don Beeson. He's put them on pole. Mamba Strike. COC 2nd, but how's this for a story? Helix, PC Willie. 2nd row of the grid, they put it 3rd. Split the COCs, then Q down in 4th for the number 8 COC car. BNR in 5th, there's confirmation of the results. Just a small 1-lap race. Confirmation of the grid though. That's how it will line up tomorrow. BNR or NDC 2nd, or NDC on pole, COC 2nd, Helix 3rd, COC 4th, BNR 5th, Driver's Room 6th, Lynx 7th, 8th for Can-Am, 9th and 10th for SVV, 11th for Motorsport West. And that is a brilliant qualifying. We should be getting a an interview pretty soon from Hayden Clampett. Hello, Hayden.
Hello.
Now, have you got your mic share settings on quickly? We'll be able to hear you throughout this.
They should be good. One sec. Yeah, it says share your voices on.
Well, congratulations, pole.
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't expecting. I mean, I was expecting SVV to be on pole by like 2 or 3 seconds. I wasn't.
SVV completely off it, 9 seconds off the pace.
Oh wow, yeah.
But
again on with the 807, it was just looking at it from what we could see of it on live. It just looked really well cooked up in my opinion. Like it wasn't crazy or anything in areas. It was just the kind of thing I've known Dom to do a lot, which is just get his head down, put in solid lap times, and just hook it up beautifully. And yeah. If you want a recipe to get poles, that's how you do it.
Well, we saw it when the times we did watch on board with him. He definitely pushed the limits a lot. He hooked it up nicely. He knew where the limits were.
Yeah.
And he left nothing on the table. It's fair to say he went all out. He knew what he wanted, and he got it. But pole isn't everything. It's an endurance race. There's 3 other people racing, and yes, one driver could be quickest, but it's a team effort. How do you feel in the rest of your team to continue the momentum with pole into tomorrow? I know you're doing stint 2. How do you think you can?
I'm pretty confident about stint 2. I've been running about mid 808 on fuel, all consistently, so I feel it'll be there or thereabouts with his pace, or Dom's pace. And then as for Msati and Bez, they're in the ballpark as well for their stints, and in fact actually we swapped Bez and Msati around because Bez is more comfortable running at night. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to keep up the pace, and yeah, I think from pole now our new expectation is to at least convert this into a podium finish, which I feel is very much doable.
Well, you've got a solid lineup, I must say, but how do you feel about the COC's lineup especially? I mean, it was quite unexpected from Helix. Do you think Helix maybe with their lineup, I know they've got some people that haven't got race wins this season, but they've definitely been there on pace, they can get a podium. Do you think the Helix have a good lineup to maybe battle with you in COC? Do you think COC and their whole lineup will be able to cause some problems? Because COC, all the way through, probably the most consistent lineup there is. How do you feel about them?
I quite interesting for the battle for victory, honestly. Like, COC is gonna very much be there. They've always been there. I even sometimes feel like COC are probably nice, NBC. We're probably we're really close rivals wherever we're both racing. So I imagine the battle for the win, though. I'm honestly relishing the prospect of a 4-way lead battle. Like, it's the kind of thing which you just love to see, in my opinion. That there's more than one team dominating, or not necessarily dominating, but being very much in that lead battle and making it interesting not only for everyone watching, but for everyone taking part.
One thing I said was your stint. There's a little inter-Discord server sort of rivalry between the the known livery makers with you, Brian, and Giotto in Stint 2. Now, how do you think that's going to play out?
Well, the hope is that I come out on top of the livery makers, but I know that at the very minimum, Giotto's quite fast. I've raced directly against him before. I'm pretty sure it's Super Formula cars, but still. And he's definitely very quick. We were no more than 2/10 apart for pretty much the whole thing. And he definitely knows what he's doing in terms of racecraft. So if we do end up on the same bit of track, then I'm sure I'll enjoy the battle.
What about Brian? Do you think Brian will pose a threat? Are we going to see any shady saying no?
I think Brian sprung quite a surprise before, on many an occasion. Like, for example, I mean, he was battling for the podium in the West and Spa last season, and back in season 1 he led quite a bit of the Le Mans race. Though how much of that was down to Ruben fuel saving, we don't know. Still, leading against Ruben is no mean feat. So yeah, I feel like the three of us are all going to be quite close, and yeah, it's another one of those battles I'm relishing, and hopefully will be one of the many plot lines we can have in this race.
Well, going into... Thank you. Anyway, going into tomorrow, obviously, you're on pole. That's good. How much do you think the importance of pole is? How much do you think maybe dirty air? I mean, it's such a slalomy track. You're always turning. There's no real break until we get to the long 1.5 km back straight. Do you think dirty air is going to play a part, and do you think you're going to see an early move into turn 1 to try and get the lead?
Yeah, I think that if people, or if there's definitely going to be potential for dirty air to cause a bit of havoc in the race, like especially from the Caraciola carousel about just over halfway around the lap through to the dotted you heard along the really long back straight. I feel like that's where dirty air is going to have the biggest effect. But for a single corner, or overall, I think the single biggest corner affecting it will be the trading routes, the quick left before the right hand, about 2.5 minutes in. Those areas in particular, it will be really important track position will be. Like, the Nordschleife is basically Monaco, but a lot longer and a lot faster. So, yeah, I feel track position will play a part, but I don't think pole is the most important thing in the world when it comes to the Nordschleife.
Definitely not.
Like, as in any case, pole position helps, but it isn't like, it's not like Monaco where if you have pole, unless some kind of woe force you, then you've won the race.
Is there anything you're going to say to your team for tomorrow? You know you've got pole, there's going to be that little extra bit of pressure that you're maybe now the team to watch?
I think what I'm going to say to them for definite is, don't look at it from the perspective of being a team. Just look at it as, it's another race. Like, we know that there's good pace in all 4 of the drivers running. And if we can just make sure that we get that pace and we don't make big errors, we just focus on putting laps in consistently, then we know that we'll definitely be in the fight for the win.
Well, thank you, Hayden. Congratulations on pole. I'll see you stint 2 tomorrow. Bruno, hello.
Hello there.
Do you have your microphone share settings on?
I believe I do.
It is in party settings if you would like to check.
Yeah, sure.
So it's party settings, then I think it's allow audio to be shared.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, there was high expectations. There was a lot of pressure as well going into that. You're the number one. You was allowed to run the number one plate because of Ruben and what happened in Div 1, SVV winning the team's championship. Do you think that pressure maybe rubbed off a bit and maybe caused some problems? Because I know I saw you pick up some damage throughout, so you had a bit of an accident. I know it's easy to have an accident around the Nordschleife, but do you think that may have played a part?
Yeah, I'm extremely disappointed. I'm not a Nordschleife specialist by any stretch of the imagination. I'm actually really bad at that track, but I think I had the pace to put it in pole or thereabouts. I just made stupid mistakes. Yeah, I spun on the first lap. On the second lap, I somehow managed to half spin in the carousel. And I did my third and fastest lap with damage, so yeah,
So there is potential there if you're setting your fastest laps with damage, and it wasn't the cleanest qualifying session, so there is potential for you maybe to move up the order. We know SVVs, you don't get into SVV without being quick and without having good racecraft, so we know you can cut through the grid up ahead of you, and like we said, qualifying isn't the most important thing. It does help with track position, but it's not the be-all and end-all. There's 3 other people racing there, 6 hours. You've got Ruben and Ento, they're the Div 1 champions in the team's championship. You've got the drivers champion in Ruben. He's undefeated in GTEL races. Does that maybe give you a bit more confidence that, as a team, you still have a chance to win this despite coming from so far back?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long track. It's a long race, and yeah, I'm not going to win the race by myself, you know. I'm very confident we have very good drivers. Ruben, we don't need to say anything about him, you know.
Ruben's performances speak for himself.
Yeah. And in the other championships we run together, our pace is pretty much identical. He has better fuel and tire management, of course. But the race pace, it's pretty much identical, so I'm confident I can move up the field. I'm a little bit worried because the Nordschleife is very difficult to overtake, but I'll try to rely on the other people's mistakes and see where it goes, you know.
Well, thank you, Bruno. Unlucky about qualifying, but we know we know as a team there's something else in there. Is there any news on what happened with that second car, as they didn't have the best qualifying either? Do you have any information on them?
Yeah, I can't say about them for sure. They're in here to have fun, you know. Most of the drivers on the second team, they don't have much experience on you know, championships and racing in these big leagues. They're here to gain experience and to try to look good, you know. I'm sure they can pull out a top 5 finish, perhaps.
I know Raved is racing, and Raved, I've heard, is an incredibly quick driver, and he's running second stint. He's especially the way this works as well. It's the times combined together. So if Raved, maybe if you can gain a few positions, Raved can maybe start 6th. Or for them, maybe Raved start 6th, and then maybe Raved could move up. So there's still a chance for SVV can do well. I know both teams have got really good drivers in there, which can move them up the field. And it's a team effort. But thank you. Unlucky about qualifying, I must say, but good luck tomorrow. And we've got a race of champions without the champions.
Yeah.
We do miss you, Ruben. We do miss you, Ento. It's unfortunate you can't be here to race with us. It would be wonderful to watch Ruben, Ento, Ruben, Ento, Zifix, Lucas, Joseph, Cam, Alpino going at it. But with the Div 1 champs, with the Div 2 champs, Div 3 champs, we was going to have the Season 1 Div 2 champion, Juice Realm, but sadly not. But thank you, Bruno. Good luck tomorrow.
My pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
And now let's get into the race of champions. As you lot can see here then on the right hand side of your screen, Maisto, Dino, Rocketman, Mamba, DJ, Tim, Joseph, Zifix, Pino and Cam West. We've got the Div 2 champion in Masto, the Div 2 runner-up in Mamba Strike, the Div 3 champion in Pino, the Div 3 runner-up in Cam West. People who have won races, Zifix. People have got podiums. Everyone else has then got a podium as well. So unfortunately we don't have Ruben and Ento here. They would have made it 10 times as better. They can't be here. Sad Juice can't be here as well. Sad Lucas can't be here. Lucas has got a win, and Ricky was also asked, but people have got busy schedules. I'm sure if Ruben was available, he probably would have qualified for the number 1 SVV car. We are just waiting on Zifix. And we just about ready to go. We're just waiting on Zifix for confirmation that he's available, or that he's ready. And we will just about be ready to go. JD, is JD racing? I can't remember, did I? No, JD's not racing. A few people that Vastman have been interesting here. So, it's the race of champions without the champions. Qualifying's been amazing. Let's go and... No, Vassal, you can't. It's been a good first day. We've got a final race to get going. We're back at Dragon Trail Gardens van. Who's going to win this? Mamba Strike. He's got his B&R livery on. He's going to be disappointed with qualifying for COC. Let's see if you can make it up here. Race of champions without the champions. It's going to be a 30-minute race with a 10-minute qualifying. Everyone out. And so far, they're out nicely. Ten drivers. Some of the fastest we have in the league. A nice final touch to end day one, just before we go into the proper serious business with the 6 hour tomorrow. Zifix leads everyone out. It would have been interesting to see Lucas here. Lucas, 3 seconds fast from Ruben at Spa. That was in the way. That was interesting. Masto. He's brought Rocketman, he's got a podium, we know he can also be quick when he wants to be. We've heard some stuff about him that was actually surprising. Expect him to maybe spring a surprise. But I'm most excited. I would actually like Ruben, I would really like Ruben, Ento, and Rick. Ruben, Ento, Ricky, Lucas, all of them being here, and Philo as well was meant to be here. All of them together. That would have been really nice to see how well they all do. All of them together, Cam and Pino. Cam and Pino in Div 3 didn't have the best of competition. Joseph's here as well, he's got 3rd in Div 3. But Cam and Alpha Pino, they were brilliant, I must say, in Div 3. But they're decent pace, but we didn't see them against solid opponents. And now that's where we're really going to see it. Rocketman 4th in Div 3, got some podiums. Had some solid performances, especially at Fuji, I believe it is. Zefix, though, will lead them out. Well, Zifix Quarry will lead them. He'll be the first to start a flying lap. Monica's happy as her UMF boys are here. Rockman into pits. He's starting on the he'll be starting on the mediums. He's taken a note from Tim's book. DJ for Motorsport West round turn number 1. He's had some good performances as well. DJ, he can spring a surprise. DJ known spring a surprise in Div 1. But Can-Am's running their golden livery to celebrate the Div 3 championship. As Cam clobbers the curb again, he was doing that all race, and there's a bit more of a crackdown with the wider cars in the GT3. Not allowed to go over there, but he was clobbering those curbs a lot in the Super Formula race, but now he's had a bit more time to practice here. And that's Alpino going deep into turn 5. Joseph has a nice tribute for the Moto Freerider that sadly died a few weeks back. I don't follow MotoGP much, so I can't pay much respect, much of a tribute to him, sadly. But you can be an unknown and die in motorsport, and we still have the utmost respect for you, because this is sim racing, it's virtual. But people, in real life, we do sim racing because there's no risk, but in real life, people on 2 or 4 wheels, they risk their lives for a job. Zifix though, first set of lap time, a 1:29.7. Cam's getting a toe off of DJ up ahead, DJ across the line, a 31.1. Cam sets a 30.8. Alpino Solap 33 flat. Jones up towards the line. He goes 4th with a 31.2. Tim goes 5th. Dino's not set a lap yet. I've just sworn I've seen him. Meso a 31.9. Mamstrux and Solap a 140.2. Rocketman, he started his lap, and so's Dino. They'll be starting on the mediums. It'll only be a 1-stop. It'll be an interesting way strategy works, as they're only going to be pitting once. I mean, this will be interesting about how they'll do strategy here. Now, 30 minutes. We're normally used to hour-long races, but it's the same fuel and tyres, same fuel and tyre wear. So, could we see people pushing 20 minutes like we'll normally do, or we'll see people going early for 15 minutes? I don't know, it'll be interesting. Zifix come around final turn. He's into the pits event, so we'll be taking on some fresh rubber. Cam West currently provisionally second. DJ, he will be up towards the line. He's hoping to improve. 1:30.1, not the best lap time. Cam, big toe off of DJ up ahead. DJ up towards the line. He improves and knocks Cam down. Cam will not improve. To his not really liking, Alpino stays 7th with a 1:32.7. He improves. Rocketman up towards the line. Tim as well up ahead. Will he improve? No, Tim does a 1:31.8. Rocketman, he goes 5th. Dino up towards the line. He's the last to set a lap time, and it'll be interesting to where he put it. Mumstrike into pits, yet set a respectable lap time. Dino up towards the line. He goes 2nd with a 30.5. He's not, I don't think he's actually the podium this season, but 4th in, he was 2nd for most of season 2, or for most of season 1 in Div 1. He's a quick driver in his own right, and so far he's proving it, putting it in 2nd. 8/10 off of Zifix Quarry though. Quarry is an insane driver, he dominated that Div 3 race. And it was actually a Div 2 race, sorry, which he filled in for UMF. But nonetheless, he's a good driver. Monica's loving her German drivers out there, Maisto and Quarry. Well, show DJ some love. He's currently running 3rd. He's doing good. Cam coming around turn 10 where he had that mistaken loss for chance at a podium in the Super Formula race in the Croatian GP. He's going to be hoping, maybe with a bit more practice, he won't been at turn 10 this time, and he will get himself on that podium towards the line. He improves and he will knock DJ down in 4th, who's just got into the pit lane. Alpha Pino up towards the line, doesn't end up improving. He's currently struggling a lot. Mama Strike 10 seconds off the pace, so we'll expect him to do something good. Timmy improves into 6th with a 1:31.6, and Rocketman a 1:31.8 puts him in 7th. Joseph into the pit lane. Macelo's on an outlap. He's coming around the tricky turn 10-11, which basically merges into one turn. Up towards the line, then start his lap. He's 2.1 seconds off the pace, unlike Meso to be that far off the pace. Rocketman, Tim, I mean, Meso says he's been on ACC, a set of course competizione, all week, so he's not had much practice for this. Not many people really taking this seriously. It's a fun thing for charity. And a reminder, please donate if you can. Link in the description. Top link. Please donate if you can. If not, it's fine. but please share out if you can. Maysto improving already in the first sector. If you can't donate, it means a lot if you do share the stream out to someone that maybe could, because it's for mental health. Mental health affects us all, and it's something we want to help, and this is what we're doing. It's something we want to do since we started in January. And it's something we're now going to try and do. Up towards the line for Cam. Can he improve? He finally will. He's still on a worn set of tyres, though. He will stay third. Zifix increases his lead with a 1:29.2. That's a brilliant lap. Alpino improves. He stays outside the top 9, or outside the top 8. Tim improving into 5th. The Div 1 man, the Canadian, just qualified around for Launch Life. Hops into this and he's doing brilliantly. Dino. Currently provisionally front row. He won't improve. But the biggest story so far, he's letting everyone through, actually. Oh, him and Tim! Yeah, I saw that one coming from a long way away. Maystalk towards the line. He goes 8th for 131.7. He's still 2.4 off the back. Mamba, he improves and goes 2nd. Mamba taking the fight to Quarry. 2/10 off the pace. So Mamba, one more lap to go for him. He really lays down the gauntlet. Quarry cooling down those tyres, going to go for one more lap. He will be able to, but Mamba, he's flying. He's currently 2nd. He's find 2/10 onto Zifix. Had a slow start to Quarry as he goes deep into turn 5. That's going to cost him some time. Dino currently P3, but the biggest prize to take out of this, the Div 3 champion down in 10th. The Div 2 champion down in 9th. The champions that are racing down the order. Maysto improving by a fair bit as well. I'll at least put him up to 8th if he continues. Quarry slowing down though. Mamba, Dino, that's Cam going wide. Dino around the final turn. He's racing for Lynx tomorrow with Cam. 3 people racing for Lynx tomorrow in the charity in the 6th hour there. DJ goes 5th. DJ goes 3rd. He will knock Dino down. Cam West, that will be his quali over Tim. He leads through the chicane. Maysto up towards the line. He's improving. The checkered flag's out. He'll be the first to properly take it. Can he improve? He goes into 8th. Joseph, he improves. Where's that put Joseph? Joseph goes 5th. That's a brilliant lap there by the German. DJ, he's currently not improving. He's got the Tovo from Rocket Man down towards turn number 5. There's Pino going wide, and he'll be starting right down the order. Dino coming through turn 5, getting all over that curb there. Slight drift, slight bit of oversteer, but it corrects it nicely and doesn't really lose much time from it through turn 5. Joseph, brilliant lap for him. He's best he'll start as 5th. Mamba 2nd. Dino and DJ, they're still going at it. There's 17 milliseconds that splits them. Rocketman's still going good as well. Tim, he will be the first out of the final 4 to finish his lap. Round the final turn, it's a decent exit up towards the line then for Tim. He needs to find 1.3 seconds to not be vice champion from Div 3. Down, up towards the line, Tim. He will not be improving. Up towards the line for everyone else. DJ, Rocketman. Rocketman won't improve. DJ won't improve. Dino, he improves. Oh, 7 milliseconds. 100th in between DJ and Dino, but Zifix on pole by 2/10. Zifix on pole, followed by Mama Strike, DJ Rofer and Dino, a good qualifying. 30 minutes, race of champions without the champions. It's Zifix on pole, followed by Mamba Strike. It's going to be a good battle between them from Div 2, followed by DJ and Dino for Div 1 battle. The best placed Div 3 driver is actually the guy that finished the lowest in Div 3. Joseph, Cam West in 6th, Tim 7th, Mace over Div 2 champion. He was... I was expecting him to do quite well. We're right on board with DJ. He's down in 8th though. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. The revs are building up. And away we go then. It's a brilliant start there by Mamstruck. There's a lot of wheel spin there by DJ, but Mamstruck's at a brilliant lead. And there's Dino as well in the background on a good start. And Cam West as well. In towards turn 1 though. The power up to Corvette's going to lead into is going to lead Zifix in towards turn 1. Dino's up to 3rd. Cam West down the inside in towards turn 2. Gets himself up into 5th from DJ into 4th. Sorry, Tim's not had the best of starts. He's fallen down into 8th. Then there's Rocketman down in 9th. Maisto down in 10th. He's had a poor start. Over the curves then goes Cam West. A lot of people. There's Tim going wide onto the background. But DJ's had a good run. We're seeing some NASCAR bump drafting down towards turn 5. Going to go 3 wide down towards turn 1. DJ's looking to go down the inside, get 2 in one corner. Cam West is going to go long round the outside, going to try and hold it. There's a penalty in the middle for Alpha Pino there. And Dino, and that's Cam West who's gone off. And he'll fall right down in 6th after moving into 3rd prematurely, trying to make up for his error in the Super Formula race. Alpha Pino up from 10th into 4th. That's a brilliant start there by the Irishman. Maybe he just wanted a bit of a challenge in an Irish 3 and 4. But Zifix, he leads, followed by Div 2 Vice Champion Mamstrike. Then Donner is yet to get a podium this season, maybe to make up some ground, and Pino sends it down the inside at turn 9. Well, that is an uncanny overtaking spot, and he goes up into 3rd, 7 places in the first lap. Brilliant there by Alpha Pino. Donner's going to try and fight back, though. There's Cam West in the other golden night shift car, trying to make some moves. There's DJ going through. Rocketman's up into 6th. He's got 3 places this lap. That was a good start from him, and Cam's up through on Dinos. It's a bit of a train of Corvettes. Rocketman's going to be under pressure as well down towards turn 1 from Joseph. You can see Rocketman, Joseph, Maisto all putting him under pressure. It's a nice little train here as they go down towards turn number 1. Joseph down the inside. That's not a smart overtaking spot either, but he gets it done. We've seen accidents there earlier. Cam West on a bit of a late move, can't quite get it done though. And look at this chaos further back as Joseph gets through onto Rocketman. Maisto and DJ trying to find a way through into Tim. Maisto up into 8th where he started. Tim getting a bit shaky, but Zifix and Mamba so far pulling ahead, but the battle for 3rd is pretty much anyone's game. Led by Alpha Pino and Cameron West in the night shift cars. They have joined TBRT for next season. Joseph in 6th. He's running good. He was the best qualified Div 3 driver. So far running 6th behind the Div 1 veteran of Dino Rod. Rocketman further back. Tim, he's in 8th. Maisto 9th. Maisto can't really find his way through. There's a bit of contact as Tim's going to get pushed wide through turn 9. Dino's under pressure from Joseph. Joseph's making some good ground. Joseph tried to go down the inside of turn 9. Can't quite get it done. Gonna have to hold on though. In the background, there's Maisto swarming, trying to get into the slipstreams, run down towards turn number 10. Maisto's gonna have to bail on it. He's gonna try and go down the inside of DJ though. Tim's gonna try and follow himself through. There's a bit of contact. Oh, there's a round! Round goes Rocketman. What's happened here? If we look at Maisto, Maisto's in 9th, we'll ride on board with him. He takes a tighter line, Rocketman cuts ahead and Maisto just pushes him out of the way. I think Maisto's actually stopped to let him through. That's brilliant sportsmanship there by Maisto. Rocketman's picked up down and he's had to go into the pits, but Maisto, nice of him to try and let him through, but up in the lead, Mamba's got himself through. Alpha Pino lost out to Cam West. Dino's lost out to Joseph. Joseph's going onto the grass, they're doing a bit of lawn mowing. Fortunate that no one's running Pirellis or we might see a bang. It's been a chaotic first few laps in this 30-minute race. DJ trying to find his way through on Tim. He's got the inside line, but Willie of the power back. Nissan's got some good power out corners. So is the DBR9 though, but Tim will hold on to 7th. There's no top 8, there's no points in this. It's just aim for a podium, I guess. And that's exactly what everyone is trying to do so far, trying to get as much positions as possible. It's a squabble for positions. Remember, you've got to use 2 different compounds. So, Joseph, he's in 5th and he's actually closing down. Let's see how he's doing on lap times. There's Tim making his way up into Dino Rod. Down in towards turn 10. Dino, after a good start, is falling down the order. Maybe Dino's being a bit conservative. Dino actually on the mediums. Dino's on the mediums. That might explain why he's got a lack of pace, but at the end of lap 2 then, Zifix leads from Mamba Strike, who seems to have had a bit of a mistake and fallen right off, and Mamba! What's happened there with Mamba? Mamba's just coming to a stop as Mamba had a disconnection. Mamba's in 10th. Well, there's ping issues for Mamba actually, and Mamba will get the first DNF, and Zifix Quarry been gifted out of a battle there as Cam West hopping over the curb again. It's a familiar sight around this track. Joseph now gets himself into 4th, and Div 3 currently running nicely. Cam, Pino and Joseph, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. For Div 3, doing them a good showing. Down towards turn number 5. There's a bit of a late moving over there by DJ. Tim's going to try and find his way through. There's a bit of contact at the back as Dana tries to find his way through. And DJ will eventually get pushed wide. But it's a good move there by Tim. DJ tried to squeeze him. Not the cleanest of moves. Dana tried to find his way through. Very sloppy, but Tim eventually getting his way through into 5th as he starts to chase down a potential podium spot. We'll put the front row. 6.7 seconds is the gap as Cam's now getting his foot down. No one's got overtake. Cam doesn't need to worry about that. Now can just try and find some pace to close down for Div 2. The guy that did one race in Div 2 and won it. The golden night shift cars going through the final turn. The Helix battle will be nice to see. Helix and night shift car again. It was an old familiar sight we saw from them. No, an old battle. Bit of nostalgia. Meso's down in 8th. He did stop to let Rocket Man through. Rocket Man has had to pay. He's started on the mediums. He's gone on to the softs. Purple first sector for Zifix Quarry, the UMF man, the United Motorsport Freaks. So, UMF leads from Night Shift, from Helix, from Can-Am. There's a healthy mix of teams here as well. So, Motorsport West, ART, Night Shift, UMF. There's a good few teams. It's not like there's just one team dominating here in the Race of Champions, but so far there is one driver dominating, and that is UMF Zifix Quarry. UMF Maisto. He's currently right down the order in 8th. We was expecting him to be a lot further. It would be nice to see Mamba, but he's disconnected. Mamba, Zifix, and Maisto battle. That would have been very interesting. But sadly, not been able to come to fruition. But the field's starting to calm down a bit. I think the closest battle on track is DJ and Dino, and Dino on to me is just going to sit back. It'll be interesting to see what he can do. Dino started 4th. Was running in the podium spots for a brief moment at the start. He had a really good start. He's fallen down the order. But now, come the seconds, didn't watch out when everyone's on the mediums. Now, Tim, what tyres Tim on? Tim's actually on the softs. Tim's not started on the mediums. But Tim on the mediums, Tim's got decent pace as well, and he's actually closing down Joseph. So Tim's running good pace. He wants that podium. He's in slipstream range. And I think soon we'll have to be watching out for the Tim Alpha Pino battle and how much they've gained there. Cam comfortably pulling a gap to his old teammate Alpha Pino. Only beat him once in the season. Oh, that's Alpha Pino banging to the barrier. What happened here? That's engine damage for the Irishman. And still a fairly long way to go as he's coming through the middle sector. See, Dust getting kicked off very. Catches the curb, exit curb. Oh, catches the gravel. Rear tyres bang. That's a hard hit, and that's going to be a long drive of shame into the pit lane. And yeah, as he says, that's me gone. Joseph into 3rd. From Joseph had a brilliant 2nd place finish as well at the Spa in the wet race. Brought in so many mix-ups, and it was a good race, and maybe Alpha Pino just felt the pressure from Tim. Tim really starting to pick up the pace there. Felt the pressure from a guy that wasn't even near him. But Tim now, for battle for 4th, has now gone into the battle for 3rd. And Cam bridging a gap to his teammate is now even more. Fuel as well. Fuel's normal. They don't have to take much fuel. Some people may even be able to go without taking any fuel if they can manage the fuel nicely. Imagine Ruben. Ruben's fuel management is insane. He wouldn't actually have needed to stop. But he has to legally. He would need to go into the mediums. There's Dino and DJ into the background going at it through turn 5. And so far, DJ's also picked up some damage. So has Dino got damage? No, Dino's running nicely. And Dino now, if DJ's got damage, he doesn't want to get too held up behind him. He needs to clear him quickly. Alpino says his game glitched. Oh, it didn't. That's unfortunate for Alpino. His game decided to not want to work. We saw this with Dino at Le Mans in Season 1 where the game refused to take any fuel. And he was spent running out of fuel for a whole lap around Le Mans, and that's kind of happened with Alfa Pino. From one Irishman to the other, it's the Irishman's curse. But F1, if you're still watching, welcome to the Irish in GTEL. They do better than the Brits, but here, not had good luck. But someone who is having good luck, Cam West, and Tim's also now got himself through onto Joseph. And last lap, 31.4, 31.7, 3 tenths faster. Last lap then was Tim. Joseph's also behind Tim. Not the best of exits from Tim there at 5. Gets onto the curb, bit shaky. But Joseph's still there. Joseph will still want a podium. Tim, though, is going to have to start losing him. Through the small sector is the best part to really do it. But Tim gaining on Cam. He's 5 seconds up the road. Second place is not off the cards. Tim's best finish in GTL is he's got 3 third place finishes, I believe. And I'm sure after beating both SVVs in qualifying, he's going to be riding a high and a second place from as well. It'll be a good day for Tim, and maybe it's a sign that Can-Am's also feeling good. As he just drifts a bit wide at 10. Joseph cuts across and down. He's in the slipstream. Last lap then. A 31.6 compared to a 31.4. So, Cam, 2 tenths last lap quicker than Cam. Oh, sorry. Cam 2 tenths quicker than Tim last lap. And now maybe that's without the slipstream of Joseph. Maybe that's with Joseph putting a bit of pressure on. As yeah, not the best of exits there by Tim. Tim moves across, but he realises Joseph's already next to him. Joseph's going to have the inside line down towards turn number 5, down towards turn 5. Probably the best overtake spot, downhill braking. Don't outbrake yourself, it's so easy to do so. Changing radius all the way through this. Hairpin tightens up, then it opens out again. Don't go onto the curb, and Joseph's standard move gets it done, and nicely he's back into 3rd. Tim, though, won't be too far back for biting. Tim will still be there in the battle for 5th. You have to feel Dino's maybe losing just a bit too much time behind DJ, especially with DJ's damage. I know Dino's on the mediums, but Dino's now 24 seconds off, and the battle, he's about 6 seconds off the battle for 3rd. Now these will be on mediums, and when does Dino actually get off the mediums? Because these guys on softs, how long will they go? Dino, maybe does he break early and try and undercut? That's probably Dino's best bet. Maybe about 15 minutes split evenly and then try and go. But they've had no prior experience to 30-minute races. So it'll be interesting to see. Through turn 2 we go then. Oh, it's a big mistake there by Joseph. Jumping over the curbs like Cam West. He's now going to have to just sit back and relax. But Tim not close enough to really capitalise, and he's still improving. Hence the aggression through the chicane there. Still had a move. Oh, Tim outbraking himself. Look for the move there, and he goes deep into turn 5. Tugged into the slipstream, downhill braking, misjudged it. And Maisto, he's got past Rocketman eventually. Actually, it got past Rocketman ages ago. Sorry, Maisto's into 7th, and he's closing down Dino, so is it now a sign that Dino should maybe pit? Maisto's still got to use 2 sets of 2 different compounds. He's improving going, but Maisto started on the softs. So, Mesto tucked into slipstream with his fellow Corvette driver, ART opponent, Dino. Dino's on the mediums now. Will Dino pit? Yes, Dino into the pit he goes then. He goes for the uncut. Cam West is also there. He senses the pressure. Doesn't want to get into a battle. If you're trying to go on a different strategy, you don't want to get into a battle, because then that's just going to cost you more time. And I think being behind DJ did cost him a lot of time. But Cam, he's full tanked it. Now, why is Cam full tanked it? That's cost Cam a lot of time. You do not need to refuel. Maybe it's just a bit of a habit. Donna takes a tiny bit of fuel. You do need to take a bit of fuel, but you don't need to take massive amount. Rocketman out with 50% fuel. So he's feeling confident that he can go to the end, and Alpino he's a minute behind anyone with his engine now, and he's picked up more damage. But Tim currently running second then, with everyone pitting, and Cam full tanking the fuel. This could be an opportunity for Tim to jump Cam. Cam's got a bit of an undercut on him though, but it's a possibility. If Tim had some eager eyes, he would have seen that, and he would know. Round the final turn. Is it into the pits for Tim? Yes, Tim peels into the pit lane. Joseph stays out. So here's who we really need to look out for. Cam coming up towards the final two turns. DJ's into the pit lane as well. Now where will Dino come out? Dino's gained time. Dino's gained a lot of time on Cam. How much fuel will Tim take? Tim's out. Tim is out, and he's comfortably ahead as well. By a long margin. Sorry about that. Tim, with his gunshot helmet, Tim's beat Cam West by 4 seconds. He's got a 4-second lead now coming out the pit lane, and Cam won't have to full fuel save, where the others might, but Tim's also got a lap younger tyres. And we saw Tim's pace. He had it. He was quicker. Dino as well, taking a second out of Cam this lap. Maisto's still yet to properly pit and go on to a different set of tyres. Yep, Mamba, if you want an interview, that's fine. Dino, this is the ability. Joseph into the pits. Dino can actually challenge for secondary if he gains on Tim as well. 2 seconds this lap, near enough. I think he's gained on Cam, maybe more. We'll see when he actually crosses the line, but let alone Cam full tanking it and spending a good 10 seconds longer in the pit lane than he needed to. Dino's pace, he's on the softs. He started on the mediums. 30.2 personal best compared to a 32.3. He's gained 2 seconds on Cam this lap. He just got so much more confidence, so much more grip on the soft tyre. Tim's beat out Joseph with an undercut. He's gained about half a second on him. Now Tim, how far off the road is Tim? Tim's 5 seconds off the road from Dino. Now Dino, in the next 10 minutes, what was the pace last lap? He was 2 seconds faster than Tim as well, so Dino, when he gets behind them, that's going to be quite a long way off. Dino's actually got some brilliant pace to challenge for second here. He's improving even more. Behind Cam, his good teammate. His teammate for tomorrow doesn't want any bad blood going into the 6 hour tomorrow through turn 9 on the exit. But he's just got so much better exit. He can take so much more speed through there. It's softer and fresher compound tucked into the slipstream. Up towards turn 10, not quite close enough, but turn 1, if he gets a good exit, Cam deep there. Dino thinks about the move through turn 11, they're going to go side by side and he's just going to have more grip, more speed. Dino comfortably ahead, Cam's heavier car, slower acceleration. Dino's ahead into third, bit of a bump draft, sorry, into fifth, bit of a bump draft there now. 3 seconds off the road is Joseph. Last lap, Dino a 30.5, Joseph a 31.6, so only gained a second on Joseph, but Tim only gained a second on Tim as well. But nonetheless, Dino is hunting these guys down. Picked up half-second penalty from the chicane. But right now, this man is absolutely flying. He's gaining on Zifix as well in the lead. Zifix yet to pit Maisto in the barrier. What's happened here, Van? The Div 2 champion going through the S's. It's where Alpha Pino at this moment. He's going to catch the gravel. So he kicks up gravel there. Over the curb, onto the gravel. Does not like you. There's your engine damage. Bob's your uncle. Into the pit lane you go. And he'll just get out the way then for Tim, but he needs to put on some mediums. He does he know he needs to put on mediums? Because if he doesn't, he'll still get disqualified, which will be, he'll just add more insult to injury. Joseph will go into third. Tim knows Dino's coming, and he's coming fast. Last lap, 1.3 seconds quicker was Dino, I think. Let's have a look. 31.7 compared to a 31.2. 1.5 seconds quicker. Tim, he was only a second slower than Dino. So Tim's putting his foot down as quick as he can. And Zifix, 7.5 minutes to go. Still yet to pit. He's managing this nicely. He's not going to have to spend much time in the pit lane. He's not going to lose that much time. It's very much Crowhawk-like performance. But Mamba, it would be interesting, but it's a shame that Mamba isn't here, because Mamba's battle here with Zifix would be nice, but sadly, his internet died out. Pino's not here as well. Cam, he's probably cost himself a good result, a good podium, a bit of redemption from earlier with his fuel strategy, but Dino chasing down a podium. And Zifix tyres are looking deadly. Now, we've seen Maisto make mistakes. Now, Maisto doesn't really make mistakes. Maisto's a clean and consistent driver. I know Zifix is quite quick, but look at the state of his tyres. Now, Zifix has still got decent pace, but all it takes is one little mistake, and the barriers are so close to you, and you're going at such high speeds at this track, you hit the barrier. That's engine damage. We've seen it with Pino and Maisto already. They're both champions in their own divisions. It's not like they're just some rookie driver. They are good and quick drivers, and especially with the state of Zifix tyres. If he does go and hit the barrier, the pace that Dino's got a chance at winning this. Which is insane to say. But, well, it's insane to say. But the only way that's going to happen is if Zifix hits the barrier and picks up some engine damage, and then will be crawling around the lap. But tugged into the slipstream down towards turn 5. This is surely going to be light work of it. Joseph covers the inside, but Dino can just brake so much more. He can brake so later. He goes deep though, but he's going to have the traction and the grip. That's just the difference between the soft and the mediums. Joseph's tyres are younger than Dino's as well, but that just shows you the difference in compounds and strategy that Dino's done. Zifix flying into the pit lane. 5.5 minutes to go. 3 seconds up the road is Tim. But Dino deep into turn 5, and he still gets the move done. Just shows how good, how different the tyres is. Zifix onto mediums with 15% fuel. He isn't at the barrier, so he will be safe. There's still the opportunity to do that in 5 minutes. Never say never, but there's Joseph doing the signature Cam West move without hitting the barrier though. And there's Cam West doing a bit of lawn mowing on the exit of turn 11. Last lap then, a 31.6 compared to a 30.8. So 8 tenths quicker last lap was Dino. and that was with a mistake and an overtake had to be made. So now he's got clean air. Let's see what he can do. And if he can get himself in slipstream range before the end of the lap, well, there's about 3 laps to go. 2 or 3 laps to go at the line. Dino's currently setting his personal best first sector. So he's definitely got confidence in the car. Through turn 5, clean through there. Powers on nicely. That is how you take turn 5. Doesn't get onto the curb too much, because the curb steps up. There's a bit of height on the second part of the curb. And if you hit that, you are going to spin. We've seen that earlier. It's so easy to lose control there. But he didn't. He pretty much nailed it through there, but he did lose time. He's not gaining on his best, but he's still gaining on Tim. Tim on entrance to the... If you can see on the left-hand side of your screen the time gap, he gained a good 4 tenths just through the entrance to turn 9. And that's the difference in compounds. He can brake so much later, he can carry more speed through there. And through here as well. Watch the time just get eaten down. He doesn't have to worry too much, there's not much strain on the tyres. And there's what, 3 tenths through there. And up towards the line then for Dino. Last lap. A 30.2, it's consistent. This is why Dino's here. He's not got a podium this season, but I can remember off the top of my head. But he's still got speed, and Tim on mediums is still showing decent pace. He only gained the second last lap. And several on different compounds, but right now, we thought Dino might have been a threat when we saw he was doing an alternative strategy, but 2 laps, maybe 3. Come the end of this, there's Alpino going slow and letting Tim through. Dino won't want his teammate for the 6 hour to hold him up, and just about gets it through nicely. Solid exit from 5. And up the hill and the S's, they go through the middle sector. Mesto finally into the pits again. Has he got more damage? He has! That man needs to stay out of the barrier. Someone else who needs to stay out of the barrier is Tim. He's under immense pressure. He doesn't need to let that pressure get to him, though. We saw how cool and calm-headed Tim is. I'm sure he'll be cracking open a beer. It's not the best of qualifying for the 6 hour, but beating SCV is something to cheer about. And a podium as well would be nice. I think Jez will be happy about being the best of the Div 3 racers in the Race of Champions here. Dino hasn't gained as much time as he did last lap. Oh, that was a shot and a half. Lawn mowing there, but Dino across the line. 2 laps to go then for the Irishman. He's in slipstream range now of Tim. It's not will, it's when. Will Dino be firmly onto the back of him? He's lost time through turn 1. The dirty, yeah, playing a part, but through the slow speed stuff. But is Dino's tyres wearing out too much now? Is it got to the point where they're out of the window, and this is where the mediums... We saw this at Laguna Seca, which was the highest tyre wear track. And gets to the point where the mediums are just better come the end of the stint because of the lifespan of them. They just last longer, and the softs couldn't last the full stint. And this is a short race. It doesn't really matter. But either way, nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Dino, he's onto the back of them now, and Cam, he's 6 seconds off the back of Joseph. There's no chance of Cam getting 4th and a bit more of redemption. And he'll just have to lay his redemption out tomorrow. I'm sure Cam will. He's got confidence. We spoke to him earlier. He thinks he can do something good here. Dino, good through turn 9. Look how he maximises the track limits there. Just pushing the car. He's just got so much confidence in that car. On the run up to turn number 10. Tim, you can already see he feels under pressure. He's covering that inside line. This is where Dino went for the move onto Cam, I think it was. Not quite close enough to do the same thing. Tim doesn't have the heavier car that Cam had. Tucked into the slipstream, right into the back. He's got the faster car onto the final lap of the race. Round the outside, he's going to be able to make it. We can't find Tim. Where's Tim? Round the outside at turn number 1, not possible. But he does have a lot better grip up towards turn number 3. Not close enough. A good exit. Tim deep into 3. Through 4. Dino gets the switch back. Dino's into 2nd. Dino Rod into 2nd, the Irishman, giving F1 something to cheer about down towards turn number 5. I don't think Tim will quite have the pace, but Zifix, He's absolutely flying through turn 9. Red light on for Tim. No sign of anyone running out of fuel. Alf Pino, he's finished the race. Pacific's getting a bit of a toe off of his teammate for the season. Shame no nickname couldn't be here, but he's got his equipment's broke, which is unfortunate to see. Round the final turn though, Pacific's Quarry, he only did one race in GTL, but he won it in fine fashion. He's going to win the Race of Champions in fine fashion. The Race of Champions of Alpha Champions, it's a shame no nickname. Ento, Ruben, Lucas and Ricky couldn't be here. It would have been an absolutely brilliant one. But nonetheless, everyone's still good quality drivers. These are the fastest drivers we've got in the league. Dino will come and take second after a brilliant drive, brilliant strategy, hits the barrier. Anyone ended up getting second, and Tim actually nearly nicked second from him at the end there with Dino's antics. Joseph will get fourth, and he'll be the best of the Div 3 finishers. The Div 2 vice champion, doing some final bit of lawn mowing. Not been the best of day for him. He's done the Super Formula and the Race of Champions here. It's going to be a race to forget from him. He's going to put all of his attention onto tomorrow. DJ, the Div 1 podiums. He's got a podium in Div 1. Motorsport West man, he's going to be happy with that. And Rocket Man as well in 7th. Everyone will be happy, though, to say they beat out Maisto and Pino, the 2 champions that are actually here, are not here. Zifix wins, though, in quite comfortable fashion. Not as comfortable fashion as what we saw from... Not comfortable as what we saw from Crowhawk, but Mamba Strike will be getting an interview from Mamba. So let's try and get Mamba into here. We'll be here for an interview with Mamba. His internet cut out. Sorry for the blue screen, everyone. Let's try to get Mamba in here. I'll also ask Dino for an interview. That was brilliant from the Irishman. Hello, Mamba. Have you got your microphone share settings on? Well, go check quickly. Party setting. Oh, you're on a PS5, aren't you? Should be in part. If you go onto the party screen, should be in party settings and. Well, let's. Party setting. Oh, you're on a PS5, aren't you? Should be in part. If you go onto the party screen. Can hear my voice. I don't like hearing my voice. Just turn stream audio on. No, it's not on. Should be in settings somewhere. Well, I'll invite Dino in. Dino can also do an interview, and whilst Dino's doing that, you can try and find it, maybe do a bit of a Google or something. And I'll get the Irishman in. So, right, let's wait for Dino. It's the final race, though, done for today. We'll be back tomorrow with the 6th hour. We've got a couple of interviews to do, though, just before release, so stay around for that if you're interested. Let's see, where's the Irishman? If he's gonna join. Hello, Dino. Do you have your audio share settings on? Party settings, allow audio to be shared. Hello, well, I must say, first, congratulations. Is that your first podium of the season, technically? Well, it was definitely a deserved podium, despite not having the best of the champions there. That was still a fine performance, top Div 1 man, a brilliant strategy. Is that maybe something you'll take into next season? We've seen Tim do it a lot, worked out. It was a close one if you was gonna catch Tim or not. Wait. Apparently we can't hear Dino. Dino, you need to check your audio settings. Go to party screen. Alright. Party settings. Allow audio to be shared. Always allow. You silly. We'll find out in a minute. Dano, turn your mic up and try to say something. Mamba, say something as well. Dano, turn your mic up and try to say something. Mamba, say something as well. Nah, I can't hear you too. It's unfortunate.
That was actually a really fun track. That could be something we could look into next season.
Well, we'll try and get the interviews with them tomorrow, but either way, I know you can't hear them. Congratulations, Don. That was a brilliant performance. Mamba, sad to see that you couldn't, finish the race. You was looking good and competitive with Zifix. But good luck for you two both tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. It's been a long stream. It's gone by quick. It was an amazing quality. We've had some good races to go along with the side of it. Thank you all. Thank you to everyone that's donated so far. Please join me tomorrow. 6 hours, 4 PM is the start time. 4 PM British Summer Time. Stint 1 starts. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be a brilliant race. Get as many people in. Our goal is 300. We've raised £140 so far. Our goal is £300 and 50 people on the stream. Please share out the stream tomorrow if you can. Do everything you can. Let's raise the money. Let's do it for a good cause. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.